and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One with a preview of an AFC matchup to wrap up Week 5. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are 3-1, and they've won 3 in a row. Now they play host to Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts, who managed their first win of the season last Sunday. Wentz says that win gives them something to build on.
Feels like you got the monkey off your back a little bit for both me and the team. So a huge win for us. All 3 phases come down and execute and play well. But, I mean, every week it's just we're learning together. And I'm learning the guys, they're learning me and playing styles. And it's been fun every week to just see us get a little bit better.
Join me, Ron Jaworski, and Rich Eisen for all the action from Baltimore when the Ravens take on the Colts on Monday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Napa know-how.
At Napa, buy a 5-quart jug of Mobil 1 motor oil and save $10 on a pair of wiper blades. It's the perfect autumn deal. Mobil 1 for colder weather, new wipers for the rain, and an extra $10 to buy Halloween candy you'll most likely eat yourself. We're not judging. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations. Does not include taxes and fees. Advertised sale price not available in some states. Ends 10/31/21.
For the ones going above and beyond. For the ones reaching out, helping out, and lending a hand. For the ones people count on. You can count on Grainger. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Backed by 24/7 customer support and specialists to help with hard-to-find products. Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
People settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Monday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose pushing the buttons, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Yep, we're on early again for your Monday Night Football. That's right. Don't worry, kids. Tomorrow, your Barstool Sports Show will be back on, but right now, you got us. Why? Because, well, Radio Ron doesn't like it when we get extra time off with full pay. And I'm pretty sure it's the morning show that we have to have a bone to pick with for this sort of nonsense. But it's a fight for another time. We don't have much time. Remember what happened last Monday, Randy? We tried to talk about every single football game. We didn't make it, did we? We didn't make it.
No time for complaining or hanging our heads or pouting about no extra time off with pay. It's time to get right into the damn weekend of football.
That's right. 2.5 hours, and we still couldn't get through it last week. So we're going to do our absolute best to get through it this week. Before we do start talking about all the different football games over the weekend, there's a couple things we want to talk about. For one, it's National Coming Out Day. That's right. Today is National Coming Out Day. Randy, is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to tell us?
No.
Keon?
I'm all good.
Do you feel like this is a safe space for you to do this? Is there anything you want to tell us?
See, I thought today was Columbus Day, National Indigenous People Day. I didn't know about this coming out thing.
Well, this is another part. There's just a whole nother thing. But I just figured this is a safe place. So if you want to, go ahead.
Well, I was going to come out as a disgruntled Washington fan, but as it turns out, I'm already that.
Yeah,
and that's
you're
already
flamboyantly that.
Yeah. So no, nothing new to add there.
Yeah, me either. Not yet. 888-368-1580. So, okay, on to the next thing. Go ASU. All right, nice win for the Sun Devils. They had 14 points in the first quarter, 7 in the second, which means that getting slow started thing, I told you guys they'd be focused on that. Now, Stanford Cardinal, not a great team, but get into that habit, get into that practice, like getting in there and scoring, and so that you know that's pretty good. By the way, did they up on the rankings? Did anybody check the AP?
Yeah, I
rankings?
believe they're. I believe the Arizona State Sun Devils are right now. Are you ready for this? They're right now as we speak.
Yes.
Ready for this?
Yes.
Is everybody ready for this?
We've been ready for a while.
Number 18 in the country, your Arizona State Sun Devils.
Hey, not bad. We cracked 20. That's awesome. I would have been happy with 21 or 20, but just seeing that, great. So now we got the Mormons on October 16th. So they are visiting Utah. So good luck to the Sun Devils. Now, the other game over the weekend, as predicted, Arizona has lost another game. They're completely defeated this season.
That's just hard. That's hard to see, in my opinion.
You want to see my prep sheet on this one?
Yeah.
Right there it is. It shows sore, and then what's that?
Sadness. Yeah.
Just
In
that's
infinite
all there
sadness.
I mean, when the alumni are wearing bags over their heads, they're in the stadium, leaving the stadium incognito.
I figured that just because they all ugly. But
no,
okay.
no.
So can I just make a suggestion? I just hate seeing the word Arizona next to O and everything. I think it's time to let Tucson finally secede from the state of Arizona, if not these great United States of ours. I think it's time that they finally become their own country or part of Mexico. I don't care which. They just I'm tired of seeing the word Arizona right next to such a losing tradition.
Mm.
Is there somebody I can call about that?
Well, you could call the president. He might be taking a nap right now.
Keon, call the president, would you?
If all of my producer duties, I don't even think I have the president's number in the whole Rolodex.
Call the White
what
House.
what kind of producer are you?
If I can't contact the leader of the
I
free
don't
world
want
on a moment's
excuses,
notice,
Keon. I want you to call Sleepy Joe Biden, wake him up, and get him to make it official that Tucson is not either no more of Arizona, make it part of New Mexico or Southern California, and then or just get him out of the damn country.
do you realize how many hurdles you are asking me to clear here? First off, I have to find a way to contact the leader of these United States.
So I guess it's coming out day for Keon in that he's a whiner.
Then you're asking me to wake him up from a nap. Have you seen him? Look into his eyes and tell me that anybody can do that.
His eyes are kind of glossy. I don't know. I mean, if you have nothing but excuses,
He
then
fell
I guess
asleep on live television
that's fine. So, okay, maybe he'll
with an
fall
ambassador
asleep.
of another country.
I need you to make this happen, Keon. I need you to make this happen.
I'll try my best. That's the most I can promise.
Do you want any kind of position in the Jeffrey O'Brien future emperorship? This is one of those things that you need to make a call. You need to make a damn call. All right. So what else was there? Well, we have the Major League Baseball playoffs. Let's talk about that real quick, Randy. Everything playing out kind of the way you thought it would. Any surprises?
Well, I do see some surprises in that the Sox are playing very well. The White Sox are playing very well at home, and they've it looks like they've evened up the series against the Houston Astros. And so it looks like it's going to go back to Houston for a deciding Game 5. Atlanta and Milwaukee are in a pretty good series. And, of course, the Dodgers and San Francisco are in a pretty good series. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see how things are happening here. I think we're, the next day or so, we'll have some telling tales on the trends. Right now, it looks like everything's going to go 5 games in this NLDS series.
All right. So here's one of the things I found interesting. So watching the White Sox play this weekend, Friday night. And, I'm thinking about a lot of stuff. Thinking about, ASU is on the other channel. I'm thinking about, what does this weekend in football hold?
Yeah.
And one thing I wasn't thinking about, slavery. But people watching Friday night's playoff game between the White Sox and the Astros, well, we were all forced to. In the first inning, White Sox first baseman Yohan Moncada, he stepped up to the plate. Major League Baseball commentator Buck Showalter is like, hey, first time I saw him in the big leagues, I looked around and I was like, wow, can we have one of those? And his partner, Jim Catt, is that how you pronounce his name?
Jim Catt, yeah.
Catt, yeah. Oh, get a 40-acre field full of them. And I was like, whoa. Let me rewind that a second.
Whoa.
What the hell did he just say? What? And later in the game, he came back and apologized, saying, in an attempt to compliment the great player, I use a poor choice of words. Poor choice of words. That's a very specific choice of words. People are wondering if John Gruden, is being legit or racist in what was an email from 10 years ago. And you want me to believe that's a poor choice? That's a very specific, intentful choice of words, Jim Catt. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, about the insensitive, hurtful remark. It's like, why not 30 acres? Why not 15 acres? Why not? I'd like a baseball field full of this guy instead of making a reference to 40 acres and a mule that freed slaves were promised back in the Civil War. So I'm sorry. I don't believe you, Jim Cat. I don't believe you.
It's,
I think
it's just a bizarre unit of measurement to reference.
It's very specific.
Of all the things.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking this guy has been holding on to some racism for quite some time, and he's getting older and older. He's just like, can't hold back. Oh my God. So yeah, that happened, and then of course now the inevitable has happened. It's Cott, is Jim Cott. Yeah, thank you, Miss Springle. Now the Chicago White Sox are saying that the Astros are stealing signs again. They're up to their old ways, Randy.
Really?
Yeah, Ryan Tepera has said, yeah, I think they're stealing signs again. I don't know that. See, here's the thing. No, there's no way. There's no way they'd risk that right here, right now. 0% chance, right?
Right. I think that they're doing it the way that you normally steal signs. For a couple of reasons. One, obviously their reputation is below the dirt at this point. To do that a second time with some of the same players on the roster who did it the first time, like at that point, you just got to break apart the club. Houston doesn't deserve a baseball team. Just send him somewhere else. I don't know what else you do with that. But also, that was the whole point of hiring Dusty Baker. Like, Dusty Baker is a guy that
fits the culture.
Yeah, he's well respected. And you would think, like, of all the people where cheating's not going to happen on his watch, Dusty Baker is that guy. So I just find that hard to believe.
I don't know, Randy. What do you think? Houston Astros, would they risk it? Would they be up to their old cheating, sign stealing ways?
No, not using technology. Certainly not. No. No.
Yeah.
This is just because the White Sox went into Houston, got their butts kicked, and now they've evened the score in Chicago, and they're saying something hinky's going on in Houston. You know what? Shut up and let's play some baseball and leave all the speculation outside the fence and just go in there and win one in Houston. That's all you got to do.
All right, fair enough, but just a little something for the radar that the Astros may be up to it again.
That is such low hanging fruit. I can almost
like short jokes about your quarterback.
That's also low hanging fruit.
Very low hanging fruit.
That's one for you.
Also, I didn't say
which
he could actually grab. I didn't say that.
That's true. You're starting the week off pretty bad here, Jeffrey.
I didn't say it. I said it's like that. I didn't say I was saying that.
Chicago just needs to go into Houston, and they need to win a game in Houston. It's pretty easy to excuse yourself away for playing poorly and hitting poorly in the opponent's ballpark. Just go in there and win. That's all you got to do.
Absolutely right. Excuses ain't getting it done, Chicago White Sox. I almost wonder, Randy, if you kind of hope the Astros do win this to keep that flipper off the field for any more games and then the Rays or Red Sox take care of business.
I just want the better team to win. And boy, have the Red Sox all of a sudden just kind of broken into some sort of hitting spasm where they can't go wrong. They could swing at a pitch, way up in the zone, and that flies out of the park. So this should be a pretty good series between the Rays and Red Sox. I can't wait to see how that finishes up.
What are your thoughts on the Dodgers and Giants? Because I want the Dodgers gone. They're tied up right now. Last time I looked, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not tied. I mean, in the series, they're not playing right now, are they? But who's rained out, by the way?
I don't know.
It's Houston and Chicago. They're postponed right now.
Okay, so please tell me the San Francisco Giants have a good shot at taking down the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah, I think absolutely. San Francisco and Los Angeles were very close as far as runs scored this year, as far as a winning record. San Francisco came out of nowhere. I think ultimately San Francisco will end up winning this series because the Dodgers have not had the pitching they anticipated. And, Clayton Kershaw, who's been their stalwart pitcher in the postseason, is on the IR. So there's no way to beat around the bush here. I mean, whoever has the best pitching staff, whoever's got the best bullpen, and whoever can score the most runs. And I know it's obvious. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Whoever can get men on bases and move them around against both of these great pitching staffs are going to win. It's going to be a close series, I think.
All right. Well, as long as the Dodgers don't win, I'm happy.
I can't guarantee that.
No, here's what needs to happen. I got Keon calling the president, Randy. I need you to call up Rob Manfred and get it done.
Well, it's happy hour, and he's probably 3 or 4 whiskey
This is
sours.
perfect.
Yeah.
No, this is the time you want to get something. Remember, you'd wait until mom and dad were in a good mood in some way or shape or form or the other.
Yeah.
Well, Rob Manfred, after he's a couple of cases of Bud in, just go for it.
Yeah,
Go
I think
for
he's
it.
a more like a whiskey sour Manhattan kind of guy. I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Always for Manfred. By the way, Miss Pringle says, you know what? That whole thing with Jim Cott, that's just another reason to get rid of all sports commentators. Wait, what?
Well, that's why I didn't see that extreme coming.
Wow, that's a bit of a blanket there, isn't it, buddy? Let's see. Boomer Sooner says, well, guys, what a game. Hope you watch, Keon. That is a tough loss right there.
Sorry,
I think Randy's double Boomer Sooner put us up over the top. Wow. Okay, so he's not talking about the Cardinals.
No.
He's talking about your poor Bevo got it handed to him by OU.
Well, it didn't get it handed to him. It was a close game.
Did you win? Did you win?
No, he didn't
You got
win.
it handed to you.
No,
Did
it was a
Did you
close
win?
game.
Did you win?
And quite
Did you win?
frankly,
Did you win?
it is.
Did you win?
It is.
Did you win?
Maybe
Did you
outside
win?
of
Stop
2008.
talking. That's all you
Did
got
you
to
win?
do. You'll stop.
I'm just
when
gonna.
you stop.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm capable of tanking through any amount of noise to make my point. So we can do this
He's
all
got
day.
brothers.
Yeah, I have two brothers, and I've had to yell at them my entire life. But like, I thought that this game, outside of maybe the 2008 version, might be the best Red River shootout we've ever had.
Wow.
Like, that's how good it was. It was back and forth. It was up and down. There was drama. Spencer Rattler gets pulled, and in comes the new quarterback, Caleb Williams. He's throwing the ball all over the yard, making plays, and the Longhorns of the last gasp touchdown there to try and stay in the game. I enjoyed it. I wish that Texas would have won.
Oh,
but that was a great game.
Did you win?
Of course not.
Okay.
That's
all I wanted to hear you say. I just wanted.
I know they didn't.
You want to hear I wanted to hear your pain there a little bit. Did the Washington football team win?
No, I didn't feel any pain for the Texas there because it was a great game. Washington
Has the
didn't win.
Wizards won anything in preseason yet for the NBA?
I don't watch it. I don't watch
Okay.
them in preseason. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. How about the Nationals? Are they doing it? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, okay. The painful thing about the Nationals is that I've got to watch my guys Trey Turner and Max Scherzer in Dodger
on
blue.
somebody else's team.
In Dodger
Even
blue.
worse,
of all the teams that they got traded to, that one hurt the most.
All right, that right there is enough. I'm calling for a ceasefire. Nobody gives Keon a hard time for the rest of the day. Nobody gives Keon a hard time.
Scherzer's probably going to pitch today.
He's suffering enough. So I withdraw my previous harassment, and no one else is allowed to give Keon any kind of a hard time. It's bad enough.
When we
It's
talk
bad
about
enough.
Washington, I'm going to.
Very briefly, it's not interesting. Blissful Hayes says, good afternoon, Blender crew and fourth dimension. Do the Bengals players who celebrated Cincinnati's missed field goal need their eye holes checked? No, you gotta understand from there where they're standing in that position. The kicker said, boy, that thing, it just felt good. It looked good. And I turned my head and started celebrating. The wind just kind of pulled it over that side. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Jagdog says, congratulations on your win, Randy. Cards didn't look the greatest, but they got the job done and beat the Niners. Cheers. Crown shots to you, Randy, for beating my Niners.
I appreciate that very much. Listen, that was a fantastic game, and I think it exploited a lot of areas on both teams.
Really?
Boy,
were you mad?
I was.
My wife was not happy with that game. She was upset during and after the game about the way the Cardinals played.
Well, I was kind of tensed up during the game, but I've been on painkillers all weekend, so not that. But anyway, I was tensed up during the game. But after the game, I had this thought of satisfaction, and maybe if Alex is listening right now, last year the 49ers would have beat us based on their running game alone.
Yeah.
This year, our defense, which was on the field an awful lot, rose up to the occasion and stopped when they needed to make stops. Yeah. So I'm very happy about that. And I think the defense was the MVP of that game this past Sunday.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we will talk more about the Arizona Cardinals staying undefeated, the only team in the National Football League. I think they are absolutely 100% legit, and the big test will come next week. We'll talk about that and more when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Chances are the technology you work with every day is an afterthought
until it isn't working.
Technical problems can throw a wrench in your day, but computer security issues can expose you and your customers to serious risk. Affinity Technology builds custom IT solutions that help small businesses thrive. No system is too complicated.
If it plugs in, we work with it.
Affinity Technology runs Arizona businesses. Contact us today at atechaz.com. That's atechaz.com. Affinity Technology.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona.
Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia
Keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene.
You need to tune in
To AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3.
The Fanatic.
And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up on Tuesday at 1 p.m., let's put a bow on Week 5 in the NFL. Get you updated on injury news as we have it, and there are a bunch. College football is exciting this year. Let's look at the rankings. Elimination games are on tap for Major League Baseball playoffs. Are there any surprises? Has anyone's predictions changed on who is moving into the next round? So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Tuesday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The One is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Contractors need bonds, and the professionals at Constructors Bonding have been Arizona's leading surety management team for 40 years. We don't just deliver bonds, we make your bonding better. As the number one producer with 14 markets, Constructors Bonding has the relationships and expertise to get you better capacity, better rates, and better terms. For better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929. Or visit cbialliance.com.
For a good time, listen to the Daily Blender.
Watermelon says, hey, Jeffrey, did number one Rattlers fan just get a bit for the show before Keon? Yes, he did.
This is true. I was hoping to compliment and skate by for a little bit. I don't know why you directed this back at me. But
did you come up with anything yet?
I was trying not to work this entire weekend.
I see.
Well, it's just a lot of pressure because I got to come up with a good idea. You know, I got to come up with a good
Have you heard this show?
The Daily Blender, weekdays 3 to 6 on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. Let me tell you something here right now. Listen to me. It is no accident that I've gone 23 minutes without mentioning the Colts tonight playing the Ravens.
You're trying to stay away from the old bad curse?
I don't know. I just don't want to talk about it. Maybe I just don't want to talk about it, Randy. Okay. Maybe I don't want to talk about it because
I am
look,
so
I'm wearing
confident.
my new Colts shirt. You see that?
I see it. I see it.
Yeah, the kids got me that. Actually, the boy got it for me, and then got the Colts hat on. So I'm trying to be supportive of my team, but I don't want to talk about it because I'm pretty sure we all know how this is going down tonight.
Let me tell you exactly what I did today to show confidence in the fact that I also have confidence in the Blue Horseshoe.
What's that?
I dropped Gardner Minshew and picked up your quarterback.
What the hell for? Why would you do that? Are you trying to lose fantasy football games on purpose?
I was carrying Gardner Minshew as a memoriam and honorarium to him, the greatest quarterback to walk between the lines on the gridiron. But I dropped him from my fantasy team, and I have picked up your quarterback.
I feel like you're just hurting yourself.
No.
Maybe we should get Keon, get the 800 number for people who are just hurting themselves. We should probably give them some counseling.
You'll see.
Okay. Whatever gets you through the night, buddy. But I'm not interested in talking about tonight's game. We've talked about it already. It does not bode well. And that's it. Let's just go on and talk about the better stuff. We're going to talk about the Cardinals and their win here in a moment. Let me clear through some of these texts on the text line. Mr. Wilbur says, I'm going to recommend you change your guys' name from the Blender to the Herd. After all, you three are outstanding in your field. Wilbur, there's already some toothy jackass calls it his show the herd. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Hefty Lefty says, I think it's funny that ASU is ranked one spot higher than BYU, even though ASU lost to BYU. I understand the strength of schedule argument, but it's funny in this specific situation. Listen, I don't need it to make sense. I just like to see the Sun Devils doing well. Outside of that, I don't care. Let's see. Kenny Kenton says Max Scherzer pitching for the Dodgers against the Giants is the biggest favorite tonight. Minus 203. San Francisco will lose tonight. And by the way, the Mormons are BYU. Utah, that's just a public university. I'm guessing most everybody there is Mormon anyway, Kenny Kettons. If it's in Utah, that's the thing. I just call them the Mormons.
I don't know.
My Mormon friends don't even mind. They get a giggle. Beer Bob says, Randy, the White Sox still need to win game 4 in Chicago before they head back to Houston.
Yeah, I realize that. I understand that. I appreciate that. But, to come out, that is so easy. Make excuses. I don't embrace excuses. I embrace facts. Facts. You didn't show up there and you didn't score any runs. And now you're saying that because the Astros outscored you, that they're stealing your signs. Technology is in there.
Allegation.
And they are cheating once again.
Allegedly.
You just got to have some evidence.
Fact.
If you don't have any evidence, then you're just whining.
Fact.
I don't know what he's doing either.
I think that he is.
Question marks.
Yeah, I think he's just punctuating everything.
Yeah.
Frightened co-hosts.
Very, actually.
Thunder Snow says it's whiskey time all the time. All right. Papa Mike says OU Texas game was amazing, as my free lunch shall be. Thank you, Keon.
You're welcome.
Blissful Hayes says the Colts should draft Spencer Rattler. Well, yeah, that's fine. I mean, listen, there's
yeah, boy, he looked like he was right on top of the game Saturday.
Not going to be much stopping the Colts from getting whoever they want in that draft, I am sure.
You know what I found funny? You know what I found?
Spencer, though.
You know what I found funny about that? Speaking of Spencer Rattler, after he was pulled from the game, I don't remember who was calling the damn game, but the color guy says, he says Spencer Rattler, the Heisman Trophy candidate. I'm like, the guy just got pulled out of the biggest game of the year for the second year in a row, and you're still calling him a Heisman candidate?
I get the first time that they did it, and I think that that's what they were referring to, because last year when he got pulled, he was young. That was his first time in the rivalry, and he was making mistakes, and so he got benched, but it was like, calm down, take a few seconds, breathe. And when he came back into the game, he was playing a whole lot better. He settled down a little bit, and it seemed like, well, maybe that's what they're trying to do here. Just get Spencer to settle down. And little did we know, Spencer Rattler would never see the football field again. And I think he's lost his job.
I agree with you 100%.
Sounds like a Colts player to me. Fed Fan says, hi, Blender boys. Just got home from grocery shopping. And Jeffrey, I brought me some fried chicken. Smells so good. Going to fix some mac and cheese. Got a great dinner ahead. Ooh, did you get the fried chicken? Is that the fried chicken? Oh, that's some good stuff. Here's what I like. We get the fried chicken, right? The best tasting fried chicken ever. And then what happens is everybody likes to eat the dark meat at my house. So we get the thighs and the drumsticks and even the wings. And then the breasts just go untouched. Now, I'm a breast man for sure. Ask around. And so what happens is I put those in a bag in the fridge, and one chicken breast equals one really good chunky chicken sandwich. Just a couple of pieces of bread, some mayonnaise, put that, shred that chicken in there. Oh, it is so good. I'm just saying that stuff, leftovers of the fried chicken. Excellent. Yeah. As long as it's a good batch, I can't say they're all going to be good batches.
I haven't tried it yet, but I plan on. Yeah, I know.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. You told me about it, so I've still got it on the list. I'll get there.
You're resisting an amazing party in your mouth, basically. I don't know why you would do that. And I know the moist one's probably like, click, 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 click. LL Cool Bean says, guys, in less than an hour, I'm a married man. Checking in, boys. Congratulations,
LL.
LL
Congratulations, man.
What's his name?
Oh, damn.
Straight fire.
I'm just serious. No, actually, LL Cool Beans, congratulations on that. I think it's odd that you're texting in this radio show an hour before you get married.
I find that you might have other priorities, but yeah.
There will be jokes. Blissful Hayes says, who's a better quarterback, Randy? Gardner Minshew or Baby Yoda?
Please.
Baby Yoda.
It's not even
sure.
close.
Yeah, Baby Yoda has the force. But Gardner doesn't have the force.
This is true.
Right, Randy? I mean,
you guys, you listen, I love Kyler Murray. I love what he's doing for my team.
Oh, I thought you were talking about literally Baby Yoda. I didn't know you were talking about.
Oh, well, if he's
Kyler
talking
Murray.
literally about Baby Yoda, but
but
he's trying to get a whistle out of me, and I'm not going to give it to him. I'm in such a fantastic mood today. I don't feel like giving him a whistle.
It's not even a whistle. I mean, it's actually not a bad nickname for him. One that he's sort of embraced after who's a fellow in the defense there that said it, called him that originally. And he goes out there and he kind of does that thing. Chandler Jones, that's right.
Well, wait, so I have a whistle to give, though.
For
San
who?
Francisco 49ers for going into the end zone when they made that touchdown and doing the Baby Yoda. Sorry, you lose. Yeah, that's a whistle for you, San Francisco.
They whistle. They got a big old fat L, Randy.
And they scored no points off of that, too, which is hilarious.
And on top of that, you did it on – that's two whistles. You did it on a play that scored you nothing.
Yeah. So there's not even a need for a whistle. Just enjoy the pain and anguish.
Well, that's
in
what
their
I
faces.
mean. I mean, it's just an epic day today. Epic
so
day.
Which is it, Blissful Hayes? Are we asking about the actual Baby Yoda or Kyler Murray? Because let me tell you, either way, yes, it's not Gardner Minshew. It's Kyler Murray or even the Baby Yoda because the Baby Yoda has the force. That's it. What more do you need to know? And then listen, I watched that game, and I got to tell you, no, Kyler Murray is damn legit. He's figured out how to make it work, no matter what his stature is. He has found a way to make it work. And other quarterbacks have taken a cue and moved outside the pocket so they can see better down the field. So, no, I'm telling you right now, Kyler Murray is the real deal. The Cardinals right now, barring any issues and injuries, I don't know who can beat them. And I think you're going up against the Cleveland Browns. That'll be a good test, Randy. But I got to say, I mean, and it wasn't like the most glamorous of wins.
Absolutely not.
But everything you needed to see from a team, the Cardinals had. If they didn't have the answer here, they had the answer there. It was happening on both offense and defense. They have the personnel. For every joke we've ever made about Steve Keim, for every little slight, at least at this moment, that man has done his job.
Well, the thing I have to say is congratulations and what a great game it was, San Francisco. You had an awesome game plan against the Cardinals. This is one of those wins you look back on and say, we should have lost this game. Okay, I'll say that about the Vikings game. Should have lost that game, but we won it. We could have very well lost this game except for exceptional defensive play and the fact that they had a rookie quarterback who, by the way, I think is going to be a superstar in this league.
Yeah, he did great.
If he learns how to stay out of trouble and not take all those hits. Yeah, I was concerned for him because he was continually abusing his body, and we know
he's
somebody
young
else
and made out of rubber, though.
Well, Wentz, your quarterback, he used to do the same thing, and look where he's at.
Well, he's a turd.
What San Francisco doesn't need is another glass quarterback. What they need is a kid to be smart and learn to get down and slide or run out of bounds or throw the ball away without taking those massive hits. But hey, congratulations, San Francisco. You sure impressed the hell out of me. And I thought you were going to hang the first L on the Cardinals this week. I was very happy to come out of there with a win.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about how bad the officiating was. We all saw it. We all, were annoyed by it. It was some bad officiating that game. And it was a shame to see you guys lose Max Williams right before halftime, the tight end. He's got a knee injury. Anybody know what his current situation is with that knee injury?
Oh, if you saw it on the replay like I did, I have a feeling he's done. I would be surprised to see him back anytime this season.
That's too bad. That is a shame right there. But hopefully, it won't be as bad as everybody thinks, and he'll be back sooner than you know it. They're going to need him. I mean, that's one of the things that Kyler does really well is he works his tight ends if he's got nothing out on the outside or if he can't see the outside. I'm not saying it for a whistle. Don't get mad. I'm just saying it in that circumstance. So, I wonder if they're going to bring in another guy, Randy. Maybe pull somebody off a practice.
I don't know.
squad
It's
somewhere.
kind of makes you think you should have kept Dan Arnold, but he's gone on to play somewhere else.
I
If
was
you kept
really
Arnold,
surprised at that.
you got a good young tight end, a guy that showed himself to be very reliable as well, and a great pass catcher. Keon.
I just checked Ian Rappaport as of 2 hours ago. The Cardinals are afraid. Still no definitive evidence of it yet, but they're afraid that he might be done for the year. So
yeah,
dang it.
And I was holding my breath because we lost Hudson, the center, and we also lost Isaiah Simmons. But he came back in the second half, and I thought, oh dear God, Simmons has got a concussion. He's going to be out. We're going up to Cleveland next week if we get out of this unscathed, and we're going to need Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
But even when he was out, the defense stepped up.
You're going to need everything you've got against the offense of the Browns. You're going to need everything you got against Baker Mayfield. That's just a fact. I hate Baker Mayfield's stupid commercials. I don't like Baker Mayfield that much as a person, and I just don't want to see him happy. I was glad to see him unhappy this weekend. I want to see him continued unhappy. So, Randy, you and your Arizona Cardinals got to do that. Do that for me.
And it's not just Baker. In fact, I would argue that the big driving force of the Cleveland Browns is Nick Chubb. And I know that the Cardinals already showed out and, stopped Derrick Henry, and they've played good games against top level running backs. But here's another guy, physical, brutal runner. He's going to test your defense again. He's going to test that front four. He's going to test those linebackers. If you're not able to slow him down, that does open up a lot of things for Baker.
Last Optimist says, he saw it on the replay in the stadium. He's worried too.
Yeah.
It did not look good. He says, by the way, on the bright side, Dan Arnold had himself a nice fumble this weekend. Do you take, it doesn't make you feel better. Doesn't make you feel better. Yeah, I'm sure that, Dan Arnold could still be useful to the Cardinals. Thunder Snow says, Spencer Rattler, gone too soon. Again. Mr. Wilbur says, show of hands from the fourth dimension. Who's the breast man? Yeah, I think a lot of people are, yeah, sure. Berg says, happy early Monday show. How's it feel to be 5-0, huh? Not talking about your team, Randy. He's talking about his team in the Premier Fantasy Football League. Yeah, that's Berg.
Well, congratulations, Berg.
Yeah, nicely done, my friend. I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing the last few games, but I think I'm finally competitive. I'm going to make a run at it. I hate to say that because then bad things
that's
happen.
usually when it goes wrong. But
right now, I'm putting a whoop ass down on an undefeated team. Guess what? I just helped make you, Berg, the only undefeated team, unless tonight he scores like 130 points.
Which seems unlikely.
See, now you put it out there, Jeffrey. You put it out there. Anything is possible.
I won't even be mad because that would be amazing.
that would be impressive. That would be the greatest fantasy football performance ever.
If I'm going to lose that way, I'm going to lose that way. Also, I'm really enjoying in our fantasy football league how Moist One is owing everything. He's having a boogie season. He drafted from the boogie position. And now he's having the boogie season from last year. And me, at least I'm on my way to back to normal. I mean, listen, I'm not expecting to win the whole damn thing this year. But I got to tell you, it feels good after going 0-2 in the beginning of the season. I worked the hell out of that waiver wire and found some nuggets. I found some stuff. And, I like my chances to – because before last year, every single season in my fantasy football career, I was in the top 4 or I won the championship. It was always that. I was never below 4th. And so this has been a humbling and horrible couple of years for me. So I'm just glad to be heading the right direction. That's all I got to say. And I hope you guys had a good weekend with your fantasy football. Sorry, Keon.
I'm in a fight for my life against Ralph, and I need Mark Andrews to score at least 8 points for me tonight, or I'm done.
Mark Andrews?
Mark Andrews, tight end for the Ravens. We'll see.
Did you see how well the Colts defense does against tight ends?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mitch Pringle says, just how ecstatically happy are Chiefs fans knowing that Kermit the Frog still has around $500 million left on that contract? Oh, my God. Really? Are you already going to launch attacks at they've had a few bad games? Are you already going to go after the one of the better quarterbacks you've seen. They're just having a moment.
The Chiefs could lose every single game this year, and it would still be worth it to have Patrick Mahomes on that roster. They're not bad because he's playing poorly. They can't defend anybody.
Yeah. Their defense is horrible, and I've said they're missing some pieces on offense. And let's face it, Patrick Mahomes did make some bad decisions. And he's young. People forget just because he's won a Super Bowl and he's a phenom, they think that he's not still young and going to make dumb mistakes. So yeah, he's up on the old Patrick Mahomes. He's going to be around for quite some time, and I hazard a guess that he's going to earn that $500 million. Let's take a break. Come back. We got to get into Sunday's games. Now we've talked about the Cardinals, sort of. We can still talk about that as we go. But from the London game, and by the way, I was up and watched that game, and I watched all the way through the rain and lightning delay to the end of the last game. So I've seen them all, and we're going to talk about them all before 4:30 when the Colts take on the Ravens. You're on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, Mark Asher, back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going, and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The One is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100 plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Mortgage interest rates remain near historic lows. So whether you're wanting to lower your interest rate, take cash out to remodel your home, or pay off credit card or installment debt, now is the perfect time to refinance or purchase a home. Call David White at 480-244-6625. 480-244-6625 to review your mortgage options and to take advantage of David's 32 years of industry experience, incredible customer service, and competitive interest rates. We shop the market for the best interest rates so you don't have to. So call David at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Call David now to discuss your mortgage options and before interest rates go up at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Don't wait. Call today and take advantage of the low rates. David White, NMLS 322907 of AmeriFirst Financial Inc. NMLS 145368, an equal housing opportunity lender.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports. We are on early, and guess what? Colts and Ravens at 4:30 p.m. As an apology on Thursday Night Football, we have a better game. Buccaneers at Eagles. So, yeah.
You think that's better than tonight's game?
I don't know. You get to see Tom Brady. I mean,
So there's that.
really? Gotta be worth something. I don't know. Listen, I don't want to talk about my team, the Colts. I want to talk about your team, the Arizona Cardinals. Before we move on and start talking about all the other games, Randy, any thoughts, anything about this you want to talk about? Was there anything specifically that you were happy with, mad about, want to see changed? Anybody you want murdered?
No, I don't have anybody I want to see murdered. I feel like the Cardinals are a well-rounded team. It's exemplified if you look at the rushing spreads and the receiving spreads as well. I mean, he threw to all of these guys. He threw to DeAndre, Rondell. He threw to Christian Kirk, Chase Edmonds, Max Williams, AJ Green, James Conner. How do you defend something like that? Each one of these guys averaged more than 8 yards per reception. How do you defend something like that? There's just not enough people on the field to do that. And then you add in the rushing spreads. You had Rondell, who was your leading rusher, James Conner, Chase Edmonds, Christian Kirk, and Kyler Murray. Kyler only ran 7 times, and he only had 1 yard. And then you add up all the stats from the game. I mean, it was just I think it was a very balanced game, a very good game played by the Cardinals. And I think it was a very good game played by the 49ers. It was a very entertaining game.
So, Keon, how is the 49ers defense? How is that defense, if we're honest?
I mean, it's a good defense. It's a solid defense. I mean, you saw the way that they defended the Cardinals yesterday. It's not like they let them get away. Like Randy said, Kyler Murray rushing 7 times for 1 yard. That part of that was the 49ers basically just decided Kyler Murray's not going to beat us with his legs. He's going to have to beat us with his arm, and Kyler Murray was obliged to do that. But there were some plays where the defense from San Francisco was perfect defense, and it didn't matter. That throw to DeAndre Hopkins where he's being covered by Josh Norman. Josh Norman could not have defended that play any better. There was like one window, like a foot wide, and Kyler hit it. Hopkins grabs the ball and comes down with it in the end zone.
That was amazing.
That is the most amazing throw that I've just seen a guy casually do on the run.
Mm-hmm.
And then the catch, Hopkins is just so good. The ball hits him in the hands. It's a catch. Like, it's over.
Well, and not only that, did you see that catch by Rondell Moore? He was outside the playing field. Only his toes were inside.
The play with Rondell Moore is crazy because Rondell Moore, I thought he was going to be really good when he came out of college. He was at Purdue. He's been doing this at Purdue. But I never thought that he had that ability because he always seemed more of like the bubble screen receiver, just get the ball in his hands in space and he'll make stuff happen. To be that guy, that's a Larry Fitzgerald-esque catch.
And let me make this comment too. I think that Shanahan's plan all day was to try to keep his offense on the field, which he did a very good job of. They had the ball 31 minutes, almost 32 minutes time of possession. He was trying to keep his offense on the field and keep our defense on the field because he thought he could wear them down with the run game, and they had all these different options. But I'll be damned if they didn't go for it 5 times on 4th down and only made it 1 time. That's what I mean. The defense made some stops here they would not have done last year, and they made some incredible stops. The goal line, when Trey Lance was going in the goal line, and they made the stop there at the 1 foot line. They stopped that 44, that guy out of Harvard or Yale or whatever Ivy League school. He came up to do the quarterback. Yeah, Juszczyk, he came up there. Our defense was on it, man. They filled the gap and they jammed that middle so he couldn't make up a yard. It was just 1 yard, and they stuffed them.
All right, so the 49ers. Okay, you play them again, right? So you got that
about 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. What about the Browns? Now, I'm not going to ask you, Randy. I'm going to ask somebody who's more objective. And the reason I'm not asking Randy, not because I think he's going to be so pro Cardinals he can't see anything. I worry he's going to go the opposite direction. So, Keon, tell me about the Browns and what the Cardinals have in store for them. Is the Browns defense better or worse than the 49ers? I feel like the offense for the Browns is better, or am I thinking of Browns of years past?
No, I think the offense for the Browns is a little bit better because I do think that their passing attack is more consistent than what San Francisco has with a rookie Trey Lance. That's really the caveat there. But defensively, I mean, you have to say the Browns are better, right? They have Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett might just be the defensive MVP of this league. by the time that it's all said and done. That's how good he's been. And if there is any weakness in that offensive line at all for the Cardinals, Myles Garrett's going to have a field day. I mean, you line up wrong once, he's getting your quarterback. Yeah. And Myles Garrett is different from a lot of other defensive players trying to chase down Kyler Murray, in that the man is a freak. Like, he will track you down, and it doesn't matter how mobile you are.
And he will take your helmet off and beat you to death with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true.
He's capable of that. We've definitely seen that before. But, like, just in terms of the explosiveness of the guy, Kyler can get away from him. But if Kyler doesn't see him or sees him a second too late, I mean, Myles Garrett's going to be all over you. And that makes their secondary so much better because they can get to the quarterback without having to bring extra guys.
Moist One wants everybody to know that he has faced the top 4 teams in the league in fantasy football, and he lost this week because Saquon Barkley got hurt. Fantasy football's all luck, and I have none. I think it's a little more than just luck, Moist One.
It's not all luck. I mean,
you just keep telling yourself that. Just Tip says, good afternoon, gentlemen. I don't think Baby Yoda is a derogatory term. Baby Groot, on the other hand, no. Why would Baby Groot? Baby Groot would be a giant, that giant plant, unless you're talking about like little teeny.
I think that's what he is.
Baby Groot is the little tree.
Oh, I see. Okay. He says Max Williams' leg went south when the rest of his body was going north. Boy, that was a bad injury there.
Yeah.
Fed fan says, guys, trade for Zach Ertz. Wouldn't take much. He's probably available. Ooh, is that the worst idea you've heard?
No.
Well, also, it's not the worst idea, but I got to say that Kelsey would be extremely angry since he had to pay off a bet and dye his hair blonde.
Only for him to ultimately actually be correct in the end of said bet. Also, you could probably trade for OJ Howard with the Buccaneers. They seem to have a pretty full tight end room.
I get nervous with football players named OJ around.
Well, his nickname in college was Pig. If you call him Pig Howard, but he's a really talented tight end. He's the short man on the list because they've got such a full tight end room.
Papa Mike says, Keon, it must be tough having to rely on a great Sooner tonight.
Yes, but I'm going to do it. I have to. I want to win this fantasy football game against Ralph.
Papa Mike says, in the past few years, the Cardinals would lose that game. Yes, their improvements on defense changed that this year. Kime might be ready to get some praise for that. I said all the same stuff earlier, Papa Mike. Maybe you should tune in earlier so we don't repeat each other. Blissful A says, Trey Lance, a lot took a major cranium hit on the goal line. He's tough. He's got serious potential, though. There's very little opposing defenses can do to stop Kyler and his offensive weapons. This team's actually just a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? The fact of the matter is, even when it's a tight game like this, they were still unafraid to go down the field. Go vertical instead of just keep throwing it out in the flats, keep dinking and dunking. That's the difference again from last season to this season. I see in this team, they're unafraid to go vertical. They're unafraid to go down the field and try to some big plays and get guys out there because, quite honestly, they're much better in the wide receiving room.
And I do think that you got to give Kingsbury some credit for that. I know that we've been critical of him, and there's still a lot I think that deserves to be criticized. But the fact of the matter is, we wanted him to open up the offense. The offense got opened up.
Yeah, if we find out who that offensive coordinator was that is quietly on the sidelines doing all the real work, I'm not kidding. There's somebody else doing this.
The shadow offensive coordinator.
No, they showed him on the camera last week. Seriously,
no, I know what you're talking about. I never found out his name.
Yeah, that's the real Kingsbury. That's the real Kingsbury. All right. Well, I tell you what, we've got every single game still to talk about. And I'm looking at the time. I feel good about it. We have an hour and a half. I feel like we should be able to get this done. I know some crazy stuff happened this weekend. Yeah. I know between kickers and injuries and this and that, there's a lot. But I think we can do it, Randy. I think we can do it.
I think we can too, pal. I think we can get this done.
Let's try to do this. Let's start with this. Matt Ryan led the Falcons to a 27-20 victory in London. I may be the only human being that watched it because nobody else gave a crap. Yeah, that was it. That's all. That's the analysis. Does there need to be more on that?
No.
Did you guys watch? Did you watch?
I watched the fourth quarter. That's when I woke up. I wasn't going to wake up and watch that entire game. So I missed the part where the Jets were down a lot. So I ended up looking at it from the point where it was actually a decent game.
Kyle Pitts, he's coming into his own, and Cordell Patterson is just on fire. But as far as the game goes, it was he didn't miss much.
Okay.
You know?
Well, there you go. I do think about the Kyle Pitts thing, though, with Calvin Ridley being injured and Russell Gage being injured, those being receivers 1 and 2. It forced Arthur Smith to use Kyle Pitts like a giant receiver because he's actually a giant receiver.
Yeah, it's funny. You look at him, there's nothing about him that says tight end. But here's something else. Can I just say this? You know, I don't like Zach Wilson. I like him about as much as I like his mom. Yeah, now I've heard him talk a few times. Yeah, I don't care for the kid. Now you know where he gets it. He gets it from that horrible mom of his. I'm serious. He just seems like a jackass. No wonder. Big Stanky sent a photograph. He was at that football game, and he says, "Thanks, guys. Had a great night. It was amazing." And he got a nice shot of the field. Boy, you had a great view there, buddy. Anyway, let's see. King Kitten says, the guy in the green hat.
He's the shadow OC for the Cardinals.
Oh, is that who that is?
No. I don't. Well, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember what color his damn hat was. Papa Mike says, "Hey, Jeffrey, maybe you should read my text sooner. Get it? Sooner, sooner, Keon.
You know,
I think you read text when you're commercial. Talk about it as if it's your thought. You read the text. Take that, Jeffrey. Shut up, Papa Mike. I don't read. You know that. I have these read to me, and I have to try to remember them. All right, come on back. Let's talk about all the other football games. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679.
When it comes to automotive repairs, where do you start? Been looking for a new home? Should you rent or buy? If you're looking for the latest trends in the automotive industry or real estate, look no further than the Drive Friendly Radio Show. Hosted by Steve, with over 40 years in the automotive industry, and Felicia, who's well established in the real estate market, you can get great advice and insight you can trust. You'll be smarter for listening, and maybe you'll have a little fun, too. The Drive Friendly Radio Show, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The One is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Mortgage interest rates remain near historic lows. So whether you're wanting to lower your interest rate, take cash out to remodel your home, or pay off credit card or installment debt, now is the perfect time to refinance or purchase a home. Call David White at 480-244-6625. 480-244-6625 to review your mortgage options and to take advantage of David's 32 years of industry experience, incredible customer service, and competitive interest rates. We shop the market for the best interest rates so you don't have to. So call David at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Call David now to discuss your mortgage options and before interest rates go up at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Don't wait. Call today and take advantage of the low rates. David White, NMLS 322907 of AmeriFirst Financial Inc. NMLS 145368, an equal housing opportunity lender.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM
and K242 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM. people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's 3 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rhodes in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And here we go. Nothing but NFL football from here to there. Where's there? There is 4:30 p.m. when 1580 The Fanatic carries the Westwood One broadcast of Colts at Ravens. Somebody asked me, you going to bet on that? No, I'm not. I wouldn't even know how to bet. How would you bet Colts and Ravens? Guys, would you go over under? Would you go the spread? Is there some prop bets on whether or not they fire Frank Reich immediately after the game? I mean, I don't know how to bet this game. I'm too close to it. You guys figure it out.
Frank Reich's not going anywhere. He's not even on the hot seat.
He's more on the hot seat about how the Colts season is than Chris Ballard. I mean, Chris Ballard, of course, is taking a little grump off of Jim Irsay right now. But even the press sees this for what it is, because they'll say, well, you know, old Chris Ballard, he's getting a little heat. But especially, though, Frank Reich, because I was right. Because Frank Reich, who keeps bringing these retreads to the table saying, wait. I've got the perfect guy. Chris Ballard rolls his eyes and says, okay, Frank. And it's got to stop. So, but I don't want to talk about that. You guys, how would you bet it?
I don't know if this is a game I necessarily want to touch, because like there's just certain games I don't know what to expect from the Ravens. I expect that the Ravens will win, but will the Ravens cover? I'll take a look at the spread here, but I don't even know if I can trust that because of all the people that they've got injured. And that means also, I don't know if I can trust an over-under. I mean, I might take the under because the Ravens have been doing this time of possession. We're just going to keep the ball. And then at the very end, you know, we know we're good enough that we can push the ball down the field. And we've got a kicker that never misses. So we'll just do that like they did against the Lions. But I'm not even sure where to go with this. I guess if I had to choose one, I would take the under on this game.
Okay, Randy, how would you bet it?
Well, first of all, I don't know what the over under is. I don't know.
It's 46 and a half, and the spread is 7.5.
Well, I'd probably
minus 7.5 in favor.
I would look for the game to go over. Personally, I think Carson Wentz is going to be in good shape. He had a good game last week. I think he feels invigorated and getting his confidence. He's not hurt or dinged up in any way. I think that the Ravens have had some tough luck this year, but they've eked out some games. But I think the Colts defense ultimately will be the factor in this. If this defense they can play up to their potential, I think the Colts can win this game, and I think probably they will end up going over the over/under.
All right. Well, here's my advice. I mean, I know that 1580 The Fanatic is Arizona's sports betting station, but I'm going to just say, just don't. Yeah, just don't. Because I don't want to hear about it if you lose. I don't want to hear about it if you win. I just don't want to hear about it because whatever happens tonight, I don't want to hear about it. So at least on this one, don't. 888-368-1580. Papa Mike says Murray Mayfield, too, coming up this Sunday. Both teams have improved on both sides of the ball since they played here last. It should be another great game if Kyler's shoulder holds up. Oh, yeah, what was up with that? He kind of got winged a little bit there and was kind of showing some discomfort and aggravation. In fact, some people are saying his throws were showing that he is hurting a little bit. What's the story there?
Well, I think he got a stinger, to be honest with you, because there was no real panic over it. He didn't go to the tent. They had a guy over there was kind of massaging. I think he maybe just got a stinger, probably hit his elbow or hit somebody's helmet or something and got a stinger. I don't think there's any reason to worry about the shoulder or elbow or arm. I think he'll be fine.
I think he'll be fine too. He did make a throw to DeAndre Hopkins afterwards where the ball was short. And Hopkins made the adjustment, but then that pinpoint accurate touchdown throw immediately afterwards kind of led me to believe, you know what? Maybe there's nothing there.
Maybe you need a little time to shrug it off. Ralph from Harmon Solar wants Keon to knows you're going to lose.
Well, depends on Mark Andrews, doesn't it?
It does. I went over and took a look, and he's only had one game with low points, and that was the first game of the season. I think that if there's other people who are hurt for the Ravens, then Andrews is going to be the go-to guy. I find it very hard to believe you won't get 8 points out of him tonight. But
I just don't want to say it, because here's what's going to happen. He'll get 7 and I'll lose by 1, which is a total Keon thing to happen in fantasy football. So I didn't even want to say it.
He'll get 7.9 and you'll lose by
tenths of a point.
Yeah.
And you'll do it. And you'll do it because he's a sponsor, Keon. Do you understand me? No, whip his ass. 888-368-1580. All right. So Blissful Hayes says, why didn't BU sign Cordell Patterson to a new contract for the Bears last year? One stupid move after another for the Bears organization.
Well, because Matt Nagy doesn't know how to use him. Cordell Patterson is not a guy that you can just line up at wide receiver and have him run routes. He's a terrible route runner, but he's a dynamic athlete. So if you can find ways to get him in space and use him, which Arthur Smith has done in Atlanta, he can be very effective for you.
Yeah, he's in the right place, man. Ken Kenton says, okay, Randy, the guy in the green hat is the quarterback coach. Okay, well, then that's not who I'm talking about. This is kind of a beefy dude. I know who you're talking about. That's a skinnier dude. I'm talking about this beefy dude who has got the little card in his hand, and he was on the thing, and I think he was calling plays that day. Let's see. Elvin Mike says, hey, guys, great grind and outwin. But my take is Butt Fumble Sanchez sucked as a quarterback, and he really sucks as a commentator. I agree. I mean, what a train wreck. I think next to, come on, D. The next thing he said was, I said most during the shoot, this was, shut the F up, Trojan boy. You're distractive dumpster fire. Am I wrong?
I didn't think he was that bad.
I did not care for him.
I didn't have a problem with him.
He was annoying to me. Yeah, okay. I kind of feel the same way you do, Hillman, Mike. I feel the same way. But then again, I don't mind Collinsworth, and everybody else hates him. So what do I know?
I like Collinsworth. I don't know.
Big Stanky 87 says, I got a question with college football shakeup this week when the playoff rankings came out. How different do you think they'll be from the AP poll if they came out this week? I feel there is bias with the playoff committee, especially with Bama and Georgia.
There's a lot of bias, but the way that Alabama lost, they looked so hapless and lost. I don't think even the committee could somehow find a way to put Alabama up. And with Georgia's handling business. Georgia is handling business with a backup quarterback. Like at some point, you just have to go, that's the best defense in the country. Georgia should be number one. With the committee, I find that the committee tends to stay close to the AP poll when that first rankings comes out. And then, of course, as things get a little bit crazier, they go into the weeds on their own, and who knows what they're going to do.
Fubar 1000 says, howdy, Blender dudes. Howdy, Fubar. By the way, let me just point out, I'm wearing my my Colts embroidered button-up shirt here. Randy is wearing the periodic table in beer, and Keon is evidently a sheriff. Now, I don't know what that shirt is.
It is a soccer shirt, actually. It's a Chattanooga Football Club. I used to work for them.
Wow.
And I normally wear a Washington short shirt, but I'm embarrassed of that team, and I don't want anything associated with them, those colors, nothing. I don't want it on my person.
We'll get around to that, but just keep in mind your team still has a better record than my team. Okay, we talked about already how the Falcons beat the Jets. It wasn't easy, but they did in London, watching the London game with all them toothy people out there wearing all those different jerseys at the game. It was weird seeing a Patriots jersey, a Steelers jersey, a Lions jersey, and they all just sitting there having a good old time. It's an excuse to go and drink, but I think everybody in the crowd really enjoyed the game, and then the stadium was just packed full of people. So I don't know, whatever, for whatever it's worth, I was not mad that I got up early. I didn't get up early on purpose. I just woke up and turned it on. So let's move on to the next game. How about the Eagles and Panthers? Is Jalen Hurts, is he starting to figure this thing out, or is it, I mean, the Panthers, that's not an easy defense, right?
It's not an easy defense. I thought Jalen made some plays. I don't know if he's figuring it out, because this is the thing that Jalen does a lot. He'll have one really good game and you go, okay, I can root for Jalen now. I see him starting to put it together. And then he'll just have just a horrific stinker. He won't throw the ball further than 6 yards downfield. And then we're back to square one with them. I have no idea. I don't know if it's the play calling with Sirianni or if it's Jalen just being inconsistent. But he played well this game, and the offense did look good in the second half.
Yeah, and Chuba Hubba didn't do so bad for the Panthers. Had 101 yards, 24 carries. So whoever ended up with that guy in fantasy football, I guess, did okay. It was an unremarkable game to me, but the Eagles actually got one. So then they move on to being 2-3. Whee! Okay, so let's talk about the really crazy game. I watched this game. This, to me, I thought, going in, I had my DirecTV on the right screen, and I had this game on the big screen. I'm talking about the Packers and the Bengals. That boy, it did not disappoint in entertainment value, but it sure disappointed in some other ways. Green Bay Packers beat the Cincinnati Bengals 25-22, but it was torturous. I mean, I was sitting here. Yeah. I had to drink a beer. I was just laughing. Both teams combined to miss 5 consecutive kicks that would have won the game. With just over 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the score was tied 22. Packers kicker Mason Crosby. He looks like I'm getting too old for this. As far as kickers go, he looked like the white version of Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon. He just is all disheveled, is gray speckled, and he misses a simple 36-yard field goal. Everybody's like, "Oh, it happens," but he's had a record streak of kicks up to that point. And everybody's like, "Oh, it was bound to happen. No big deal." Nobody seemed bothered. Then the Bengals kicker, Evan McPherson, his 57-yard attempt, which, you're thinking 57. If it goes, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It bounced off the upright with 26 seconds left. So then from there, you're thinking, all right, this is just a really long kick. That was just a weird missed kick by Mason Crosby. And then the Packers got the ball at midfield. They quickly got it within the 35. And they're like, all right, here we go. All right, get him out here. Get Crosby out here. Let's kick another one. 51 yards away. It'll send the game into overtime. No, I'm sorry. It will save the game, win the game, but he missed and it went to overtime. So there we are. 3 missed kicks in a row. We're thinking, okay, that was weird. But here we go. It's overtime. Somebody's going to score. It'll be normal. Crosby and McPherson each missed one in overtime. Crosby finally at the very end made a 49-yard kick. And after that, he's just like, whatever. I'm not going to celebrate. Don't even care. And that one kid for the Bengals, he thought it had gone through because he's like, yeah, oh, damn, I'm an idiot. It was ugly. And I'm sitting there going, this game is never going to end. So it's not just this game. This game, the kicking was ridiculous and it was bad. And maybe it's time for Mason Crosby to hang him up. I don't know. I mean, I remembered watching poor Adam Vinatieri go through the later stages of his kicking career, and it starts to get kind of unkind and unpretty. But entering into Sunday Night Football, there was 12 missed field goals, 12 missed extra points in Week 5, and the extra point has been moved back. Remember that since 2015, and I don't know, maybe that has had something to do with this, but yesterday was just an all-around bad day for kicks.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the stats somewhere that 7 extra points were missed across 7 teams. Like it's just an insane amount to have go wrong. And I really had a thought, like maybe the kicking in the NFL is getting worse. Like you got some of the guys who are great starting to get older, a la Mason Crosby, but you're getting some of these younger guys in that are just not good.
I got an idea. Ease up immigration status for kickers only. Then I think we'll get some better people. Maybe that's it. By the way, if you enjoyed Jonathan Vilma on the call, you may never see him again.
What happened to Jonathan Vilma?
Who is that guy, that toad-looking fellow he does the game with? He's used to do the voiceover for the hockey game. I forgot his name. But he and Jonathan Vilma are doing the game. At one point, he's telling the story, and he's like, "Yeah, boy, he was pissed at me." And his play-by-play guys glared at him like he was just like, "You had to use that word." He goes, "Oh, sorry. I mean, angry, right?" So later on in the game, when all the missed field goals are happening, after Mason Crosby's missed field goal, you can tell he's like, "Oh, this is the," and he goes, "This bleep is unreal." So yeah, that's broadcast TV. So There's no getting out of that. I'm sure the Fox is not happy with him. The FCC is probably writing a letter. That bleep is unreal. That's enough on broadcast TV to get you the nice letter in the mail asking for money. So that'll be $25,000, please, per station this aired on in broadcast. So Fox is not going to be happy, and you may never see Vilma again.
I mean,
Unless it's working for free to pay off those fines.
It's you can't say that on the air. You just have to have that, whatever that switch is in your head where you know you're on the air. Self-control. You just can't say it. It might be unreal.
You ain't kidding. I was going to try to find a way to make it sound like I was going to say something, but that would have required me to say something. I ain't falling for that again. So yeah, Vilma, you will never see him again. And no, it was not Sam Rosen. Who is that guy? Who am I thinking? Oh God, his name is right there. Well, if somebody figures it out, let me know. So yeah, in the NFL extra point success rate is now only at 92.4%, which is the lowest since 1979. To give you an idea, they're not. And my wife points this out to me. She's like, they're not missing the long kicks. They're missing the mid-range kicks. The extra point is about automatic. And even then it's not 92.4%. But she says, yeah, it just seems like anything around 30-ish yards, they get complacent and they're like, I got this. Nope, no, you don't. And that's it. So yeah, Kenny Albert, you're right, Berg. Thank you very much. That's the toady looking fella. He's very good, though. He's very good at what he does, but didn't know he was such a prude on Pissed Off.
I did actually do a high school football game once as a broadcaster, and I used that word, and I did have a co-host turn to me and go, "What? Why did you say that?" So
because he was pissed off. That's why.
And I was just like, "Well, you brought attention to it now. Maybe tell me off the air. Okay, whatever."
Well, it's high school, so I can kind of see that
being
a little bit of a forehead crinkler, but
just a little bit. I didn't think I was right. I just thought, don't point it out now because now everybody knows.
You should be like, yeah, well, your wife is sleeping in that dude right over there. Deal with it. Moving on. Now, Chaparral has the ball. Jagdog says, I need Baltimore to win. Just win. All they need to do is win. And then I got my 7-game parlay. Oh, yeah, you ain't kidding.
Wow.
How much money on this parlay? I don't see it on your screenshot there. Yeah, the Tennessee Titans, Viking. Oh, yeah, you had a.
Wow. He went out there and really, really relied on some teams I would not.
As much as I might start betting on the apps and stuff, don't think I'm going to do parlays. That seems like it's stressful.
Well, our betting experts said, hey, if you want to be smart, stay away from the parlays because that's a good way to lose it. But they're also the most fun because you string together a bunch of games and you get to that very last one. That's the one where it's the most exciting. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy it.
Jagdog put $32.77, oddly specific number, to win $242.80. All right, well, good luck on that, Jagdog, except for it's my Colts, so, rotten hell if you win. Heelavan Mike says, think about this. What if ASU runs the table and Alabama, inbred Bama there, inbred Bama loses to Georgia in the SEC title game? Will the East Coast Bias Committee still have the red tide over the Sun Devils?
They can't.
Yes.
They can't.
Yes, they will.
That will at this point, because at some point they've made some decisions where they're not great, but you can understand it. The year they let Ohio State in and Ohio State didn't win the Big Ten, Ohio State was still a great team that year. You could kind of get it. If you lose 2 games and don't win your conference title, they cannot put you in. They can't. It would be unforgivable.
Hey, Keon, I've seen a lot. Randy has seen a lot. We've been in the Valley of the Sun, both of us, longer than you've been alive. Trust me, they can find a way to screw over the Sun Devils. They will.
Maybe you're right, and I'll have to just live that experience and grow to be as cynical as both of you. I'm just telling you, there will be an uproar, and it will be terrible for the sport if you do something like that. There's no way you can be this committee who in the past has put an emphasis on winning your conference championship. That is what they've talked about in the past before. And then have a 2-loss football team not win their conference championship and put them in, you can't do it. Can't do it.
Welcome to Arizona, Cam. Rusty Nut says, I'd rather listen to Mark Dirty Sanchez than that other blockhead bozo from the Cardinal radio station. He's terrible. I don't even know what you're talking about, dude, but I believe you. Mr. Pringle says, I got a great plan to keep Dirty Mark Sanchez from annoying television viewers. Colts should sign him to play quarterback. Shut up. Fed Fan says, no, Sanchez is better than Talib. At least Sanchez learned about the other Arizona sports teams. I appreciate the effort he did to incorporate that Suns reference. Yeah, I heard that too. Whatever. Ken Kitten says, Chief said something on the app today, but it was bleeped out on the radio broadcast. Yeah, that's the way it's designed. If anything happens and they hit the dump button, you still hear it online. We can't get fined for that. It's only if it goes out over the air. That's why King Kittens. Everything's fine. Blissful Hayes says the NFL would be way more exciting and entertaining if they got rid of all the kickers. You know, teams must go for it on fourth down kind of thing. Get rid of the useless announcers and mic up the players. You're welcome. Fixed. NFL fixed.
Please do not make an extra down for my team to have to defend.
I didn't know
what is wrong with you.
I didn't know the NFL was broken.
Why do you want me to suffer and nobody but me?
I don't mind the idea. I wouldn't be sad if they got rid of the kickers, but then again, I'm okay if they keep them. I'm not upset about it. All right, we must take a break. We are very late when we come, and we've only gotten through 2 games. 2 games so far, and that means we only have like an hour left to get through all these other games. We're going to have to pick up the pace. Let's do that when we come back. Talking NFL here on the Daily Blender on 1580 The Fanatic.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One with a preview of an AFC matchup to wrap up Week 5. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are 3-1, and they've won 3 in a row. Now they play host to Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts, who managed their first win of the season last Sunday. Wentz says that win gives them something to build on.
Feels like you got the monkey off your back a little bit for both me and the team. So a huge win for us. All 3 phases come down and execute and play well. But, I mean, every week it's just we're learning together. And I'm learning the guys, they're learning me and playing styles. And it's been fun every week to just see us get a little bit better.
Join me, Ron Jaworski, and Rich Eisen for all the action from Baltimore when the Ravens take on the Colts on Monday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Think you might have ED? Not sure? Well, we'd like to let you in on a little secret. ED is common. About 40% of men experience ED by age 40, but the solution is simple. Find it at 4hims.com.
I didn't have to talk to a doctor in person. There was no copay, and the medication was shipped right to my door in discreet packaging.
Hims took care of it, fast and easy. Now our love life is better than ever.
Get access to doctors online who can prescribe you FDA-approved ED medication if appropriate. The same active ingredient as name brands, but 90% cheaper. Skip the waiting rooms and pharmacy lines. Get a free medical consultation and rise to the occasion or your money back. Go to 4hims.com/joy to get your first visit free. No copay required. The only way to get this special offer is to go to 4hims.com/joy. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100+ degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
If you're not spending every waking moment checking us out online,
you better have a good excuse.
Yeah. We've loaded up our website with the stories, pics, video, podcast, commentary, and more. The kind of stuff you love.
Hey, it takes a lot of time to post all this junk.
And you'll love every bit of it.
Very well. Or at least most of it.
It appears that the website has become alive.
Hit it now.
It's on the internet.
1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's sports betting station. And let me just tell you something. I don't feel very good about Dan Campbell's little press conference, to be honest.
Because he cried?
Pretty sure that's a man card violation, guys.
I don't know now. You got to look at what he was saying. He is a passionate man.
Yeah, well, but come on. A lot of coaches are passionate.
This is the same guy that says we're going to chew their kneecaps off. We're going to bite their hands.
Okay.
We're going to tie their shoes together. We're going to light them on fire.
Right. What does that tell you?
He's a warrior.
Range of emotions. Wide range of emotions. He's suffering from roid rage.
And
that's what it is.
I know that's roid rage. I think he's trying to coach this team up the best that he can. And they were so damn close in the last several games to winning. I'm telling you, this team is on the verge. They're on the precipice of a winning season.
Really? So you cry then? You cry.
I feel bad for my boys. I feel bad for them.
Shut up. You know what? Did you ever see Tom Landry cry?
You didn't see Tom Landry do
You ever see Bal Cowher cry?
Tom
you ever seen Mike Tomlin cry? Have you ever seen Bruce Arians cry? Have you ever seen Bill Belichick cry? Have you ever seen? Come on, man. This guy is in the brain. He's insane in the membrane, as the kids say. And I'm telling you right now, that is a man card violation. There's no reason to be crying up there like that. You want to get emotional, choked up, you do it in the locker room. You say, boys, I'm really sorry I let you down. But and I can see you choke it back. But this display just made me want to fire his ass. I wish I had this. Seriously, I was going to go buy the team just so I could fire him.
If you were Martha Ford Hampton, you'd have fired him on the spot.
I get Martha on the phone. I said, listen, just Martha, listen, we'll work out the financing later. Just give me the keys. I'll take care of this. And I fire his crying, weepy ass. Come on. There's something wrong with this guy. He's mentally unstable.
I'm with Randy. He's an emotional guy. He wears it on his sleeve. He really cares about his players, and you can tell. Like it actually hurts him, but in a really deep spot that they can't
you're
seem
not
to win
cut
games.
out to be a coach.
No, I disagree.
I disagree with that too. Now I don't know if he's like a championship level coach, but the kind of guy that comes in, rebuilds a locker room.
A coach level coach. They're and everything, Keon.
They're also terrible. Like I don't know how many other coaches are going to get the Lions a victory with the roster that they have now. They are actually running out Jared Goff to really win them football games. They don't got any wide receivers. Their secondary does not exist anymore. Jeff Okudah was like the one piece, and he got hurt week 2.
Yeah.
This team, there's no team. And he's still out there coaching his butt off. I respect the guy.
I think he's a great coach. I think you'll see long term that Dan Campbell is a wonderful coach.
I think this is long term.
No, I don't think so.
I think he's one of those coaches. If you hire him during a rebuild where you've got a long road ahead of you to draft guys, you're going to have to give him some slack because you drafted him knowing the team was terrible.
Yeah. And now he's crying. Oh, way to go. Come on, man. I'm sorry. I can't agree with this. As the Southwest Regional Man Card Commissioner, I cannot stand by and watch that display. It wasn't as bad as Russell Wilson when they won the game. It's not as bad as that. And to be fair, Dan Campbell was trying to choke him back. You can tell he was trying to choke him back. But come on, man. You're right, Noster Marcus. He says, come on, Dan Campbell. You ever see Dick Vermeil cry? Come on, man.
Yes. All the time.
All the damn time.
Dick Vermeil, notorious crier.
He's probably crying right now.
And where is he now?
Dick Vermeil watching Dan Campbell crying made Dick Vermeil
probably
cry.
Made him cry.
Isn't Dick Vermeil in the damn Football Hall of Fame? I think he is.
I think he is too.
Well, I didn't have a vote, did I? I didn't have a vote, did I? Well, then you guys are clearly soft. You're 10-ply, and I got to sit here now.
Okay.
I actually had a question that I thought you would be able to help me out with.
Right,
now that I find out you're both so damn soft, I don't know if you're the right people to ask.
Well, that's okay.
I'm thinking about growing my beard back out. Okay. And my wife just says to me, she's like, you should grow your beard out. I guess it's that time of year. Why not? But I'm resistant to kind of do it a little bit because Chief walking by the radio station the other day, he saw this picture of me on my laptop because it's not supposed to be, it's more about this so I could see my loved ones, my wife. And so, but I happen to be in the picture with a pretty good beard. And he's like, hey, Yeah, hey, Jeffrey, now you should grow your beard back out. Like, why don't you mind your own business? What do you care about my facial hair, Chief? And then my wife's like, oh, you should, is completely independently of that, you should grow your beard back. I'm like, yeah, but now he's going to think I did it because he said so.
Well, now that you've elaborated,
I don't want
clearly
him to
that's
think
not the
I
case.
did it. I don't want him to think I'm growing my beard out because he thought so, the weird metrosexual fella. I don't want him getting that, like, thinking of these weird comments he makes. Like the other day, he's like, hey, you look pretty good there. Don't tell me that. So I just grow it out anyway, right?
Because your wife said so.
Do you want to grow your beard out?
I just don't want Chief thinking that
who
like,
cares
he
what
had
he
anything
thinks?
to do with it.
Do you want to grow your damn beard out?
My wife thinks it's very sessy.
Well,
so I
that's
do it for
fine.
her.
Question answered.
I don't want Chief to think I did it because he thought I was
Well,
sessy.
who the hell cares? Do you want the beard?
I don't know. It's itchy.
Then don't grow it
No,
out.
I mean, for my wife, she likes it.
No, if your wife likes it, I don't even see what the problem is.
But you understand, though, right?
Yeah, I get it. But you've already now put it out there. You've explained the situation, and with that explanation just out there, we now all know. Okay, that Jeffrey grew out his beard because his wife wanted it.
If I told that story to Dan Campbell, he'd be crying already.
No, I don't think so.
It would be if you tried to grow the beard, but he failed, and
Dick
then Dan would want that for you. Dan would want that.
Yes, but I think Dan Campbell would want it for you.
Also, Dick Vermeil is
weird.
a Hall of Fame finalist.
Yeah, he's not in, Randy. You know why?
So he'll be in the Hall of Fame very soon.
I'm thinking it was the crying.
No.
Big Steve says maybe he was crying because he punted for 4-1 at midfield when down by 7 late in the game. Yeah, coaches can't cry. Suck it up, Buttercup. Moist One says he lost his best receiver in that game too. The man loves his players. You'd never be able to bring a group of men together, Jeffrey, because you're toxic masculinity. Charlie Boy says, hey, Jeffrey, I don't think God made men's emotionless, so we should be allowed to cry no matter what the situation is. Randy, pour me a cold soda, please and thank you. You know, I'm not going to take manly advice from the guy ordering soda. How's that, Charlie Boy? How's that for some toxic masculinity?
Wow.
Kiss the Cook says, Dick Vermeil cries standing at a urinal. Blissful A says, hey, Jeffrey, Mike Glennon's available to be the Colts' next quarterback. Yeah, why not? It's not going to.
Why do you need another quarterback? Carson Wentz is ready to go.
And you're on the clock.
So let him be on the clock.
Until the next injury.
Let him be on the clock. Who's to say he's going to get injured again?
History.
Generally.
Well, history can kiss my.
Yeah. You can say it. Ass. Your ass. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, after last segment, I didn't want to go and Vilma it.
Right.
He didn't want a raised eyebrow going, did you have to use that word?
Why I don't think anybody wants to see men cry. You know what? Here's the thing. Can I tell you something about, you need to know something about the women's, okay? Gather around, men. I'm going to teach you something here.
We're all huddling up.
All right. Women will say, I want a nice guy who's sensitive and funny and just wants to hear about my day and, makes me laugh. And in the next minute, they're on the back of a motorcycle with some a-hole taking off down the road as you're standing by yourself. Okay. That is the same thing women will say. I think it's okay if a man cries. I think it's okay. And then once you do, inside, they're like, I got to find a new man. Women who listen to the show, back me up on this. Back me up on this. You see a man start bawling, watching Marley and Me, and you're like, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and download the dating app.
I just
swipe.
I think the problem isn't the crying. The problem is you were watching Marley and Me.
Not me. I'm just
not you. Hypothetical man. They just. That movie choice already just deletes you from.
That says so much about you. Yeah,
it's a man card movie for sure. Yeah,
if you make it through Marley and Me without crying, that's still a problem. You've still watched the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I can watch any movie without crying. You know what happens to me? I start laughing.
Oh God!
Like, that movie's 10 years old. That dog be dead now anyway, so I don't care.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Moist One says, Jeffrey, it's obvious you have something in your past that is still hurting you. Let it out, man. Nope. I'm good.
You knew he was going to say that.
She's got no. Nothing.
No, he just doesn't like the tears.
Nope. It's not necessary. It's just not necessary. Anyways, yeah, the Vikings won a game, and it was funny because Kirk Cousins went over there and started going with their horrible coach there. What's his name again?
Mike Zimmer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Mike Zimmer. Because I was thinking it's like if he types that into an Indeed resume thing because he's going to be fired. He's like, you put Zimmer with 2 M's or 1 M. Yeah, he's getting fired. Mike Zimmer's getting fired, and you know it. If you're fired and you know it, clap your hands. Just use Zimmer. No, it shouldn't have been that close in the game against the Lions. You know what I'm saying? No. If you have that much trouble against the Lions where you need another field goal to avoid disaster, like you try to beat the Cardinals the same way, if you can't get past the Lions, that right there has got to be the end of his career.
See, I think you have to look at this a different way. The Vikings came in here and faced a very good Arizona Cardinals team and should have won that game and gifted it back to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, let's take that same team and put them in action against the Detroit Lions. That must mean that Dan Campbell and his coaching staff are doing something right to be competitive in a game that everybody but myself thought was going to be a complete and utter destruction of the Detroit Lions. But no, it was a very close game, was it not?
I never thought it would be a complete destruction because I know both teams suck.
Oh, dear God. The Lions? Are you kidding me? You're picking the Lions, you said? I know you were looking out for my best interest and you really want me to do well in the picks. I know. I get it. I'm your buddy and everything. But listen, I have a feeling this Detroit team is going to turn it around.
I don't know if it was the Detroit team playing
7
well.
years later.
Because here's the thing. Mike Zimmer's a defensive coach. Did the Vikings play well defensively? Yeah, they did. Kirk Cousins had one of those bad Kirk Cousins games again for a guy you're guaranteed $75 million to. He just shows up in some of these games. He'll play well against the Cardinals. He'll play well against some of these elite teams in the league. And then he'll play bottom feeders and he can't throw the ball. And this is the Kirk Cousins where I think it was Donnie that wanted me to go on the Kirk Cousins apology tour. Never going to happen because this is the Kirk Cousins I know.
Yeah. And Zimmer's getting fired. Dan Campbell's on roids. We must move on.
And they saved each other's jobs, and that's why they were fighting and happy, but also angry because they hate each other, but they just helped each other.
You saw that video? It was kind of uncomfortable. You're like,
very uncomfortable.
Zimmer looks pissed.
Kirk was pushing him because they were winning, and then Zimmer pushed him back, and then someone started to hold Zimmer back like he might actually fight. I don't know what was happening with that celebration. Everything was just wrong about it.
Yeah. I think Kirk Cousins isn't bright. It's like, read the room, buddy. Read the room.
Just give him a high five, man.
Fed fan says, I don't mind a man crying, but if he cries more than me, though, there's a problem. Yeah, but Fed fan, you're badass and you don't hardly ever cry. So that's the appropriate level for a man.
Case in point.
Cry. Don't cry. Big Steve says, isn't it that he cried? It's when he cried after a football game where he lost. Again, it's pathetic. Scratch Me Because says, what's worse, a crying NFL coach or a sports radio co-host bragging about wearing Speedos?
The Speedos.
Can I just say this? No, time out. I've never had to see the Speedos. I had to watch Dan Campbell cry.
Well, now wait.
I never looked at the pictures. Moving on. Oh, the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. We're late for a break.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. SimpleGreen.com.
The Arizona Coyotes open up their season on a Thursday night when they are going to match up against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Very little optimism about the team. They are tied for the third worst odds to win the Stanley Cup this year as they pay out at plus 10,000. Monday Night Football coming up this evening in Baltimore as the Ravens play host to the Colts, wrapping up week number 5 of the NFL season. Baltimore is sitting as a 7.5-point favorite for tonight's game. The over-under is set at 46.5. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley. This has been your Action Update on The Fanatic.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100-plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Maureen saved big shopping epic daily deals at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. And with her brand new tableware, everyone's welcome at Maureen's table. All of her family, friends, even her neighbor with the pet. Hey, has anyone seen a ferret around here? Found it. Dig into Amazon's epic daily deals. Spend less, smile more.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at Pro Copy. For over 20 years, Pro Copy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share Pro Copy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The Pro Copy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with Pro Copy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602 Pro Copy. That's 602-776-2679.
Can I get a weight reading on the cat in exam 3?
Zuri needs a new vet tech after their current one literally moved to a farm. But finding an ideal replacement takes some training.
This is like herding cats.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Maureen saved big shopping epic daily deals at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. And with her brand new tableware, everyone's welcome at Maureen's table. All of her family, friends, even her neighbor with the pet. Hey, has anyone seen a ferret around here? Found it. Dig into Amazon's epic daily deals. Spend less, smile more.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now.
Or even now.
Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Stay the blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's sports betting station. And Friday night, got ourselves another good football game. High school football is the AIA game of the week. Coolidge is at Florence. Hey, Randy, is there a prison in Coolidge?
No, I think there's a prison in Florence, but I don't think in Coolidge there might be a sheriff's office.
I kind of feel like they shouldn't do that in Florence. You know what I mean? Maybe too close to the prison. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That made me a little nervous. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see why.
I mean, there's always these signs that say on the side of the highway near any prison, don't pick up hitchhikers, but enjoy the football game. Really? What? Okay. I guess we're doing this then. Fine. All right. 888-368-1580. And all right, we got to pick up the pace if we're going to get through all these football games here before the end of the program. Patriots. All right, what the hell's going on there, by the way? Patriots were barely able to eke out a win over the Texans.
Well, they
had to come from behind to beat the Texans.
Didn't they have 4 of their offensive linemen out?
Yeah, 4 out of 5 linemen out for the Patriots.
I don't care if you had the entire team out. You should not be coming back from behind against the Texans. If you had to get some assistant coaches to stand on the line and just we can't do just count one Mississippi. You still should beat the Texans. The hell just happened in that game? I couldn't believe my eyes. I kind of glanced over because there's no way in hell I was watching that one.
I don't know what to make of Davis Mills. Like there are games where he looks like exactly what you'd expect, like a rookie quarterback drafted in the 3rd round. He looks bad, but every now and then he's got a game where he plays well. And a couple of the passes he threw a couple of YOLO balls up there and just.
You need to understand something. This is not about the Texans. This is not about the Texans.
I get it, but like
you're absolutely right about Mills. The focus needs to be on the hell happened to the Patriots.
I don't know, but like I said, Davis Mills had a ball that he threw it up and just prayed that it landed with his receiver, and then it did, and then the dude scampered for 40 more yards.
Okay, again, how tall was he? You can't say scamper if he's over 6 feet tall. Okay, that's first thing.
That was
Second,
the way he was running. It wasn't
can
like he put his
see-
head. He was like he stood upright, like he was DK
Keon
Metcalf.
is a great example. You can say scamper because the run looked like a scamper.
No,
Like
no.
he was
Nothing to
barely,
do
he
with
was
the
barely
height.
staying
Check
on
his
his
height.
feet.
Check his height. If his height is under 6 feet, I'll allow it. I need to see the height of that receiver.
Well, you're not. You're just the man judge. You're not the damn grammar or vocabulary judge.
I'm the height judge. I'm the judge.
You're not
Okay.
the judge.
I'm the judge. So, I just out of curiosity, look that up. But anyway, no, the Patriots are bad. They're not good, and that's all you need to know about that. But one thing is odd. Okay, let's do the 6 degrees of separation to Tom Brady. Patriots were getting their asses kicked by the Texans. Patriots had to fight like hell to beat the Texans.
Yes.
Patriots also seemed like they were kind of hanging in there with the Buccaneers a little bit, sort of.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that say about the Buccaneers now? The Texans gave the Patriots that good a fight, and then he had to fight back. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah, it's just it says that the Buccaneers don't have a very good secondary, but the Buccaneers, at least their secondary is bad because of injury. They lost a couple of defensive backs and had to pull some guys off the street, including Richard Sherman. And the other team, the Houston Texans, are just bad on defense. Like they were allowing Mac Jones to throw to the middle of the field, which is where Mac Jones wants to throw the football anyway. And Mac was able to take advantage of that late. The Texans defense simply refused to win that game because they really should have won it.
All right, well, mission accomplished, or maybe the fix is in because they want to replace Deshaun Watson with the #1 draft pick this year. They're going to have a lot of work to do if they want to suck as bad as Mike Colts, though. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So Derrick Henry looking good. He's basically carrying the Titans, and they went ahead and won 37-19. And not a big surprise. It was the Jaguars. By the way, this was funny. In practice, Trevor Lawrence would in the huddle, he'd say 3, 1, 2, 3, grind. He was actually, I'm not kidding. Now, people are trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, saying, well, maybe it's like about the grind. No, it's about the coach getting grinded on in a bar when he should have been with his team. So that's some foxhole humor there, I think. But to do that in practice where the coach is over there with the clipboard going, you dicks. That
well, what's he going to say? This is the problem with Urban Meyer being Urban Meyer. They can make fun of you openly. And what are you going to do about it?
Lost all credibility.
Are you going to tell us what? To be team first like you were? Are you going to tell us, hey, well, that's not very nice like you were to your wife? Wait, what are you going to tell us? You can't tell us a damn thing. That's what Urban Meyer is.
For Hairboy Trevor Lawrence to jump in on that after he's publicly said, I still believe and trust my coach, blah, 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 blah. Then to sit there and go, 1, 2, 3, grind. That's an interesting look. That is, it's not a good look either, is it? And then, of course, really. As bad as they played this weekend, that little foxhole humor and camaraderie didn't help much. How long until they fire Urban Meyer? After that mess, after the fact you have now lost every game this season, you've now helped extend the record for straight losses, 20. They've had 20 straight losses. 20. They haven't won a game since 2019, not 2019, right? Or wait, what is this? Did they win one in 2000? Oh, that's right. They beat my Colts. They beat my Colts in the first game of last year.
Yeah, and then they
haven't won since.
Yeah, which the thing with that, and I know we got to hurry along with this, but like Urban Meyer, like you got to have Shad Khan and the lawyers rifling through the contract to see if there's any way that they can fire this man with cause, because he doesn't have a clue what he's doing at the NFL level. He's
cause you've lost 5 games in a row.
Unfortunately, losing football games is not with cause unless you put that in the contract. But in terms of embarrassing the team, being a PR disaster, there might be a way to wiggle out of that. I don't know, but you got to figure out whatever it is. Urban Meyer stood in front of the media after that game and said, well, our goal is to get 250 yards passing, 250 yards running. That has happened 33 times in the last 52 years, Urban. Your team is 0-5. What are you attempting to accomplish?
I get the passing, but where's the rushing coming from?
I don't know. James Robinson's done a phenomenal job, but you're just not going to rush for 250 yards a game in the NFL.
And it doesn't happen. Couldn't do it either. Well, Carlos Hyde is not too bad, I guess.
Okay, I have James Robinson on my fantasy football team. He had a great day, but none of the other Jaguars did.
Do you think Dan Campbell would cry if they fired Urban Meyer?
No.
Okay. Just curious.
No.
I don't know what is acceptable and not acceptable because you guys ganged up on me on that man card violation.
For Dan, it's about his guys.
Ganged up on you, man card commissioners.
I feel triggered. I feel.
And there you go again, you man card commissioner.
Now I feel like I'm being mocked a little bit. Yeah, the man card violation for both of you guys. That's what that is. That's what that is. I have the power to do it. I don't care if I'll use my power.
All right.
Papa Mike says, I'm betting the under. You won't get through all the NFL games. I've already forgotten what we were talking about. What's he betting the under for? I don't know. You have to tell us there, Papa Mike. Moist One calls me a height supremacist. Mr. Pringles.
That's a good one.
The Patriots struggled with a co-Texan. Yike. Kotex. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Stewie says Trevor Lawrence is the man for that chant. 1, 2, 3, grind. Yeah.
Look, the guys in the locker room already think it's hilarious. Trevor Lawrence is done trying to endear himself to Urban Meyer. Get close to the other guys in that locker room.
He read the room.
Yeah. He knows exactly what's going on.
Trevor Lawrence will be there long after Urban Liar.
I think he's realized that.
Yeah.
Spare Square says, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but what was Jimmy Johnson's record his first year? Maybe Urban Meyer is, same for the Jags. Yeah, but I don't think Jimmy Johnson had that same, issue.
College mentality and PR nightmare.
I don't think he was having some, young girl grinding on him when the rest of the team was flying home from a really disheartening loss. You can't compare Jimmy Johnson to Urban Meyer at all.
Jimmy Johnson would never have started 0-4 or 0-3, I forget what it was at the time, and then said something along the lines of, I need to clear my head. He would have gone into the film room and busted his ass until he figured out what was wrong and corrected it. That's what Jimmy Johnson would have done, and that's the difference between him and Urban.
I got a question. Broncos still have a good defense or not as much?
Well, they're losing guys. They're getting hurt, and the fact of the matter is that they're losing important players in that secondary and in that linebacker group, and it's making it hard for them to be the defensive unit that they started the year as.
Yeah, because they made Ben Roethlisberger look good. They did, and that's not easy to do these days. He was 15 of 23, 253 yards, put a 50-yard touchdown on Deontay Johnson. Not that was a 50-yard pass, right? Was it a bomb of a pass, or was it just yards after?
It's yards after catch, but yeah, still.
But yeah, that the Broncos defense made Ben Roethlisberger look not bad, 27-19. On that, the sad thing is they lost Juju Smith-Schuster for the year. That is a shame right there. He's such a good kid. It seems like. Not much really to talk about on that game other than Steelers won a game. Whatever. Did anybody think that the Buccaneers wouldn't completely crush the Dolphins?
No.
Fish Tank, who have you noticed has not texted in yet today.
Yeah.
Probably still drunk from yesterday.
Sorry, Fish Tank.
And Fish Tank's realistic. I think Fish Tank saw it coming.
Yeah, and it was bad. That was bad. Tom Brady 5 touchdowns, and the offense had 559 yards. It was just an absolute. You didn't expect this to be this bad. I thought that the Dolphins had a pretty decent defense. What happened to them?
Well, I think they did, and I think they've been decimated by injuries and all and the like as well. And we have come to find out what I already kind of felt like. Tua is not the answer. Tua is not the answer in Miami.
Well, he's still not playing, which is part of the problem. It can't be the answer if you're not playing.
When he was playing,
Jacoby Brissett hurt his hamstring, but he hung in there, and then it's not looking good for that team, man. You're right. They are in such bad shape. They couldn't let Jacoby Brissett come out of the game with a bad hamstring.
Yeah, that's a terrible spot to be. You got 2 injured quarterbacks. One guy's supposed to be your future. I mean, if Jacoby Brissett gets hurt, that's bad news, and I hope that he gets better. But if your starter, who is now going into his second year with an injury, you can't rely on Tua to stay healthy, and you already have question marks about his arm strength and all that other stuff. It makes it real hard to campaign for Tua.
Yeah, here's the Dolphins. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, hi. Hey, can we talk about Deshaun Watson again? Can you put him on the phone? I just want to say hi. Yeah. Hey. Hello. Damn it. The only hope that the Dolphins have, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the problem with the Dolphins, too, is that they traded away their first rounder to the Philadelphia Eagles, who moved back in the draft, drafted a receiver who's outperforming the receiver that the Dolphins drafted with the same pick. Not good.
Did you notice Tom Brady showed up at a press conference? He had his hand wrapped. And they were like, hey, what happened there, Tommy? He's like, football injury. Hey, he learned that from Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
But not saying what it is or why, but Tom Brady may be injured. We'll talk about that and more when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How do you like to work here?
At The Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Listen, when we're all working on our shows here at The Fanatic, we're totally focused and we don't want to worry about the other things. You know, like the technology that runs our station. That's where Affinity Technology comes in. They run all our IT so we can focus on what really matters, our business and our listeners. These guys handle literally everything. If it plugs in, they work with it. They've saved us tons of money and have kept us focused on what really matters. Affinity Technology, they can do the same for you. Go to atechaz.com. Be sure and tell them I sent you.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The One is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Does your company need bonds?
Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, buddy, it's 4 o'clock and we only have 30 minutes. 30 minutes. We got halfway through all the games that happened on Sunday. So we're going to have to pick up the pace even more. Okay, Randy?
Okay.
Okay, Keon?
Yep.
All right. So I love how he's like, pick up the pace. Okay, Keon?
Okay. I said yep. I don't know.
It took you forever to respond. Yeah. If our timing is going to be like that, we're never going to get through the next couple of games.
I was just bringing down the audio a little bit. I got buttons to push, sir. I have buttons to push.
Oh, I don't know. Randy's able to do that without any problems, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Geez.
Yeah, watch. I can do that.
Rookie.
See?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Papa Mike sent an email this weekend, and he's like, "Well, you guys have yet to find any really good dirt on Keon yet, but good luck on that." And that's what's going to happen is we'll just start assaulting his performance live on air.
Oh, that's a new thing that you're going to start doing? You
More
haven't done that
often.
before. Okay.
Well,
I wasn't sure.
Well, let's slow down there, kid. Have I been wrong any of the times?
No, I didn't say you were wrong.
There you go.
But don't say that it's a new thing you're going to start doing.
To do it all the time. There's so many things I passed on. Just saying.
Golly.
Fish Tank says, "Oh yeah, what a stomping." That's right. Yep. Dolphins are terrible. Yeah, we're going to be picking real early in the draft come April. You know what's scarier is I think they have a legitimate chance to give the Jags their first win of the season in London this weekend. Fortunately, I'll be too hammered in Vegas to watch it at 6:30 a.m. So yeah, I'm sorry, Fish Tank. Believe me, I feel your pain. Look at my team, but it's going to be a competition between a handful of teams to get the best pick in the draft, and it doesn't sound like there's going to be much there anyways, according to Keon, as far as quarterbacks go. Might be a couple of good ones, but nothing that good. So you know, if it gives you any comfort, Fish Tank, the guy that whooped your ass so hard this weekend, he may have gotten hurt. He came into the press conference with his right hand, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Tom Brady throws with his right hand. And that was wrapped up. And he's like, "Hey, what happened, Tommy?" And he's like, "Football injury." He says, "In my younger days, I would have hidden it from you guys." He says, "But I don't care as much." But you cared enough to not say what it is outside of a football injury. So the Bill Belichick training runs deep with Tom Brady.
Yeah, well,
but,
hey, do you blame him though? It's not. No, it's nobody's business but the team.
Yeah, that's not true. You are supposed to report injuries.
The team
NFL.
knows what's going on. The team knows, and they're going to report. He's not going to go into a press conference and just give him all the details.
How many injuries for Tom Brady that were supposed to show up on an injury report that were supposed to be reported to the NFL didn't? He hit a torn MCL all of 2020. And so, yeah, hopefully it's no big deal with the old hand there, but they got to stop hiding these injuries.
Listen, man, we all go into the doctors and to the ERs and to the dentists and to the chiropractors. We have to sign that the hippopotamus agreement there. Right. We don't. We're not going to divulge any. I'm sure Tom Brady does sign the same hippopotamus agreement, and he doesn't have to divulge a damn thing to the media. He doesn't have to divulge it to the media.
As part of the collective bargaining agreement, as part of the contract between the Players Association and the NFL, the teams are required to report injury.
Well,
and
I think what Randy is saying is that Tom doesn't have to tell the media. He does. He can tell the team
has to tell the
The
media.
team does, but if you're asking Tom at the podium, Tom, what's wrong with you? Tom doesn't have to answer. Tom doesn't have to say anything.
But he has a far back tradition of cheating.
Yeah.
So he will tell the team and then not say, don't tell. We're not talking about that. You know what I'm saying?
With the
So-
MCL, from what I understand, Tom didn't tell the team either. So like that's his way of getting around it. Is if the team doesn't know,
I
then
don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Why? Like what?
Tom Brady can't hide a torn MCL from Bruce Arians.
Why
Okay?
not? He doesn't run.
No. Well, that's a good point. It's a good point. But here's the
Tom walks very slowly everywhere he goes.
Although
Yeah.
he did comment on his run this past week, and he says, "Did I look faster? Because I felt faster."
He did not look faster.
No.
There was not a soul in the area. There was no human being in the zip code. That's why he was able to get the run off.
Turtle is like blazing speed. So I guess we'll find out eventually, or never at all, what was up with his hand, whether it was a cut or a bruise or something else that he felt necessary to wrap the hand. What would cause you to wrap a hand?
Was it a
cut? Right?
Was it a road trip for him this weekend?
They are suspecting that it's a thumb. That when they looked at the replay, he hit his hand on a Dolphin player's helmet as he was falling through with the ball, and then his thumb was bleeding a little bit under his fingernail.
Home game, actually. It was a home game for Tampa Bay.
Home game.
Well, but why?
Well, I was going to rule out that injury.
What? Which injury is that?
That you would get with your right hand if you're right-handed.
Have you seen his wife?
Maybe there was a phone call and he hit it on the phone.
I see. Fed fan says, Jeffrey, you allow a erectile dysfunction commercial on your show. Is there something you're trying to hide? I have absolutely no say in any of the advertisements that are on this show. So I think that it's more that the radio station is saying something about you guys. Papa Mike says, you didn't get through talking about all the NFL games last week. I'm betting you repeat that this week. After all, you can bet on anything. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can bet on anything, but you can bet wrong because we're going to get through it. I mean, look how thin this stack of papers is. I think we can do it maybe even before the end of this segment. So there we go. We've talked about that. We talked about Antonio Brown, fastest player to 900 catches and this is a guy who missed a season and a half or something like that. Well, for all his issues, phenomenal player right there. How about Jekyll and Hyde, Jameis Winston, 4 touchdowns. And of course, sorry, Keon, we probably didn't want to talk about that, did you?
Not really. Blown coverages everywhere. I mean, like you could say Jekyll and Hyde Jameis, but like he was throwing to open receivers.
So my
including
question,
the Hail Mary pass that he threw at the right before the half. The game was close. Washington was going to get the ball back at the half, and the game's tied. And Jameis just hurls one up there with 8 seconds to go in the half, and not one Washington defender jumps. Nobody. The ball just goes up. Marquez Callaway goes up by himself. He comes down with the ball by himself.
As you're sitting there, Keon, as you're sitting there, you're like, there's no question a Saint was going to catch that. You know your team better than anybody. You're like, yeah, there we go.
It's one thing if a Saint comes down with the ball. Like for me, because I've rooted for bad teams my entire life, it's about the effort. If my team tries and they get their butts kicked, okay, I can live with that. They didn't try. Nobody jumped, Jeffrey.
Hey,
nobody
you're
jumped.
Being a little bit unreasonable. They at least they made it to the end zone with the other guys.
They didn't jump.
They ran all the way there. Okay, that's all the energy they had. Now you want them to jump?
Yeah.
I guess you also want them to catch the ball.
I do actually. It's a Hail Mary. He floated it up there.
Did you see their uniforms? Did you see their helmet? Had a big old W on it. Damn it! You know who they are.
And you know what? They won 7 games last year. They've won 2 so far. They just jump when he throws the ball and it's hanging there like a meatball in the sky. Jump, hit it down. You don't even have to catch it. Just hit it down.
I cannot understand this. David Lee Roth.
I cannot understand this. Like I at halftime, my brother said, "Hey, you want to go for lunch?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm done watching this game. I'm done watching this game." And then the coach, Ron Rivera, comes out of the press conference afterwards and he goes, "Oh, I don't see anything wrong with our effort on defense. You sure about that, Ron?" Are you sure?
So
you know what he's riding is the wave of, I beat cancer, right? We may not have won this game, but I beat cancer. They're like, oh.
Yeah. So I got to ask a question, and I got to ask my friend Keon. Keon, is it going to be Zimmer out first and then Rivera, or is it going to be Rivera, then Zimmer? What do you anticipate? What are you going to anticipate at the end of the season?
No,
Rivera first, then Zimmer?
Rivera's entrenched in that organization,
How?
which is
he had cancer,
Well, because first off, last year was his first year. He wins the division. They go to the playoffs. So you go, we're ahead of schedule. We're 7-9.
But look at him this year.
Yeah, they're terrible this year, but you're still in year 2 of a rebuild. They're going to give him time, which, by the way, this man is a part of the naming of our football team. And he's been terrible this year, and he's going to name what we're going to be called for the rest of my life. And he may not be here another 2 years.
Understand something. The minute I feel like Radio Ron is going to fire me, I'm going to announce that I have cancer.
And then you're going to dramatically beat it over the course of several months, and you can't beat it. You can't fire a cancer survivor.
I got news for you. I don't need any proof. I just need to go in there with a mask on, like Ron Rivera did. Ring that bell. Ding, ling, ling, ling. They're like, "Sir, who are you?" Just shut up. I need a picture. And then walk out.
Yeah, you hand me your phone. All right, we're going to the cancer ward.
That's right.
All right, I'm putting this on. Here, give me your cane. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell. Take the picture quick. Take it.
Yeah.
Ron Rivera is a great man. He is an
ironically
average,
watch that be
average
when I
coach.
Cancer. Got a little cancer on the bell thing. Oh, I caught the cancer. Damn it.
Who accused him of that? By the way, I remember somebody accused him of not doing enough to not catch it. And I don't
Might have been me. I don't know. Random texter says, Randy, you want to fire Rivera? You want to fire Coach Andy Reid too, or what?
No, I mean, I'm all for Andy Reid. But Ron Rivera started by winning a division championship. And the team has gone boom, all the way down to one of the worst teams in football in his second season. So I just want to know when he's going to get released of his duties.
He is a defensive
yes, I said
coach.
Duties.
Years.
A defensive coach with talented defensive players, and the defense is literally the worst part of the team.
That's what I mean.
Can't happen. That's
what I mean. He's a defensive coach. He's a defensive mastermind, and yet the defense is terrible. I thought they were going to be good.
Randy, he's got a couple of years because it's about a culture change more than it is about winning games right now for Washington. Dan Snyder can't risk anything. Is now, not only are you the guy who harassed cheerleaders and had a bad culture, now you've fired the dude who beat cancer. You bastard. And trust me, he ain't going nowhere.
And took your team to the playoffs for the first time in several years. Yeah, you can't. Ron stuck there. I mean,
dude, it wasn't that hard. That was the East Division.
NFC.
I actually
could have coached Washington. They would have won last year.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Could have done it drunk.
The quarterbacks that they started were Alex Smith on one.
Could have been getting drunk on the sideline.
I don't know about that.
Like going like this to the ref, going, hold on, hold on.
Your quarterbacks.
Time out.
Your quarterbacks were Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen, and Alex Smith on one leg. You didn't have anything good going offensively. The offense is actually better this year than it was last year.
Alex Smith was awesome.
Yeah, but at that
Put
point,
respect on that name.
Of course. But at that point where he recovered, his leg clearly wasn't the same, and he was hobbling near the end of the season. He just had one leg.
I did still take him on the Colts.
And he was still the best quarterback we had that year.
He did sort of have a wobble when he was running. Sort of wobbling.
Papa Mike says, hey, Randy, there's some crazy windy weather coming through soon. Blowing dust will be an issue. You should talk about it. Help the fourth dimension. What's going on? What's going on?
I hadn't heard about that. Let me check into it.
Hey, Papa Mike, it's just weather, man. Take it easy. Just Sip says it's fairly obvious for the Washington football team to get back on track. Ron Rivera needs to pull a Jeffrey and claim he has cancer again. I get where you're going. And the other teams feel sorry for you. And they're like, Big Ted says, hey, I'm off Friday. Excellent. We're not, Randy and I aren't there on Fridays and stuff. So he wants to bring us that lunch. Just hang on to that lunch idea there, Big Ted. We'll call that marker down the road. It's hard for us to coordinate things. We appreciate it. The man of his word, trying to pay up that bet. Bat Flipper says, I think Keon been hanging with Randy too much. Never heard him rant before. It's his team. That's the thing. Keon is calm and collected, except for when it comes to his teams. And specifically, I think, the hapless Washington football team.
The teams that don't give effort. Like, I'm not mad about the Longhorns losing Red River on Saturday. They tried. They played as hard as they could. Oklahoma just reached another level. I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with what Washington did. You got to try.
Baby Got Dak says, I think we should just be in awe of what Tom Brady accomplished this week. 5 touchdowns at the age of 44. Can I just put the asterisks on that, though? Against the Dolphins. Sorry, Fish Tank. I'm sorry. I hate doing that.
Nobody takes any pleasure from this, but it's a fact.
Fish Tank says, is that the third QB hand injury of the weekend? You're right. There are a lot of hand injuries. Yeah, Russell Wilson turned his hand into a hook. Stafford has his finger taped up. Now Tom Brady. It's kind of weird. You're right. The kicking thing and the finger injuries and people hitting helmets and stuff like that. You're right. But have another drink, Fish Tank. I'm sorry about the last joke. Let's see. Should we take the break now? We should. We should take the break now and rifle through the last handful of games I have left. God is my witness. We shall do this. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Rich Eisen from Monday Night Football on Westwood One here with a preview of AFC action coming up from Baltimore. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens play host to Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts. The Ravens are 3-1, but on a 3-game winning streak after losing their season opener. Jackson gives credit and respect to their defense.
Defense did a tremendous job. And I always say this, when we not having success scoring the ball, I don't like putting our defense back out there without putting points on the board. When they scored, we went back and scored. I felt like we should have kept it going. But we kind of slowed down and putting our defense back out there with no points. We got to do a better job at that.
Now they face a Colts team hoping to build on their first win of the season just last week. Kevin Harlan and Ron Jaworski are in Baltimore to call the action of the Colts and Ravens on Monday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Napa know-how. At Napa, we've teamed up with AAA to save you 20% online or in store. That's why they call us the Savings Dream Team. Okay, we're the only ones calling us that. But it's true. Your AAA membership can save you 20% at Napa. So we're basically superheroes with the most specific power ever, saving you 20%. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. 20% off regular retail prices with valid AAA membership card. Offer good online and participating stores. Offer ends 10/31/21.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Last summer, Arizona experienced record heat. Hottest summer in Arizona history. 145 days of 100-plus degrees, 53 days of over 110. Summer heat is starting sooner and it's lasting longer, and your power bills are more expensive every year. Take control of your power bills. Call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar is locally owned and operated. They use top-of-the-line equipment, and they're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard. Aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Mortgage interest rates remain near historic lows. So whether you're wanting to lower your interest rate, take cash out to remodel your home, or pay off credit card or installment debt, now is the perfect time to refinance or purchase a home. Call David White at 480-244-6625. 480-244-6625 to review your mortgage options and to take advantage of David's 32 years of industry experience, incredible customer service, and competitive interest rates. We shop the market for the best interest rates so you don't have to. So call David at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Call David now to discuss your mortgage options and before interest rates go up at 480-244-6625. That's 480-244-6625. Don't wait. Call today and take advantage of the low rates. David White, NMLS 322907 of AmeriFirst Financial Inc. NMLS 145368, an equal housing opportunity lender.
Get your college game on. Get ready for the fight songs. Get ready for the traditions. Get ready for the rivalries. It's college football.
He's gone. There he goes. Through the line. He'll take it to the house 90 yards.
And we've got the games you want to hear.
Wide open in the tight end row. Walks to the end zone. College football lives on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Today, Wender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And yep, we got Kentucky at Georgia at 1 p.m. on Saturday. There's a football game for you here, a little college, as the voice guy was just talking about there. All right, we got a handful of NFL games left to talk about. We have 8 minutes or so to do it. I believe we can make this happen. Thank you is all I can say to Justin Herbert. Thank you for the 61 plus points in fantasy football. It took every point of that to beat the Browns 47-42. That was a hell of a game. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is this, of course, you got the Cardinals playing the Browns next week, and this makes it look like they don't have a defense. But word on the street is they do have a defense. What the hell happened with this, Keon? Why did the Chargers have such an easy go versus that Browns defense?
Maybe this doesn't bode well for the Browns. The Chargers got a ton of weapons. I mean, like Mike Williams went off. Austin Eckler had another big game for them. Keenan Allen was very productive, and he's the guy that you feel like on that offense you've got to take away. Well, you take away Keenan Allen, now all of a sudden Mike Williams is burning you deep. And when he goes behind a defense, he's one of those handful of guys. It's horrifying. It's over essentially once he gets back there. And of course, Justin Herbert doesn't ever miss those throws. And it just all added up against the Browns. And maybe that's not good news that the Cardinals got a ton of weapons too.
Well, it's confusing because you're trying to size them up for the game with the Cardinals this weekend. Here's the thing. The Browns now have a very bad record in the record books. They are the first team in NFL history to lose, even though they scored 40 plus points and had 0 turnovers. It
had happened 403 times before and never had the team lost.
No, 442 times.
Oh, 442. Before. Oh, wow. Okay.
And now they are 1. So it's 442-1, actually. So I don't know what this means. I don't know what version of the Browns you end up with by the way, next week, is that at home or away for the Cardinals?
It'll be in Cleveland.
Okay, that doesn't help.
No, it doesn't help, but I think that the Cardinals will have an advantage. The Cardinals have been strong against the run game this year. I know it was game 1, week 1. Series, the first series against Tennessee, and they stopped a very powerful running back in Tennessee. Then they stopped a very hardy run game this past weekend against the San Francisco 49ers. I believe that our team defensively is up to the task of maintaining. I didn't say stopping. I said maintaining the run game against Cleveland, which has a very good run offense. But you also have to understand that their defense is beatable. They've got arguably one of the best defensive ends in the game. The guy is a monster. But if that's all they have, you simply double team this guy and the rest of the offensive line takes over.
Whose defense is better, the Cardinals or the Chargers?
Boy, I don't know right now. The way the Chargers have been playing, they've been in every game, but they have had to score a lot of points to win, which I don't mind because I got Mike Williams on my fantasy team. Bottom line is, I think the Cardinals do.
Well, we are going to have to analyze that a lot more in the week ahead because I'm not quite sure what to make of these Browns right now. Let's move on to the next one. Stewie says Raiders look terrible. Lost to the hapless Bears. What does that say about the Raiders? I'll tell you what it says about the Raiders. That team feels like they sort of quit on Gruden a little bit. Now, everybody's saying, no, I don't think he's a racist. No, I don't think he did that. But it did seem kind of like that team was sort of like lackadaisical. I don't know. What do you think, Keon? Did that seem like even the regular Raiders, or is that just a matter that, okay, the Bears defense was clicking?
I mean, the Bears, it's a bit of both. Like, the Bears defense was clicking, and I don't know how much of what Gruden said played into how they were playing, but you never want to be the controversy when you're the head coach of a football team. It's very distracting for a locker room, and there are questions that are being answered, and now you've got to apologize to the media, and you got to apologize to DeMaurice Smith, call him up on the phone, and you got to apologize to the guys in that locker room. I use language I shouldn't have said, and it does take the team out of that. We're only focused on football in this building.
And not only that, he didn't just make those terrible remarks against another NFL executive. He said it against the president of the NFL Players Association. So imagine the team full of players who's a part of that organization gonna want to rethink how they are coached by John Gruden.
To be fair, he also ripped on Roger Goodell. I mean, he was messing up against everybody, probably never thinking those emails would ever see the light of day. All right. The Berg says Raiders being Raiders. Cowboys took care of their business, but to be fair, the Giants, not a whole lot of Giants left.
No.
Yeah, and even less after the game was over. When Mike Glennon is your quarterback at the end of the game, that's never going to end well. Daniel Jones got a concussion. Saquon Barkley, kind of an ugly-looking ankle injury there. Kenny Golladay, thank you for the 0 points, Kenny Golladay, because he got hurt. Rodarius Williams, Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, all those guys. They weren't there to begin with, but all those people were missing. And
I don't think Kadarius Toney got injured. He punched somebody and got ejected.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They threw him out. He'll probably get a fine. No, actually, they said they won't fine him. Daniel Jones, a helmet-to-helmet hit. That guy's getting a fine. And by the way, Saquon Barkley twisted his ankle, and seemed like it was between plays. That wasn't even during the play, was it? I didn't see the game. I just saw the clip. It didn't look like it was during play.
It was during the play, but the play was almost over, and
it was somewhere away from him.
Yeah, and he turned and then stepped on someone's foot and just rolled his ankle.
All right, we're almost there. One last game. Sunday Night Football. Bills beat the Chiefs. I don't know if this says anything good about the Bills or it says anything about the Chiefs. The Chiefs were already hobbled and their defense sucked. The Bills haven't played anybody of substance yet. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put the Chiefs on that woodpile of not yet. So if they weren't good and didn't look good going in, we still don't know who the Bills are, do we?
No, we don't. And you had a Chiefs team that was playing from behind. And when the Chiefs start playing from behind, this is probably their biggest weakness. They just start chucking it down the field. And the Bills want you to do that. That's where they feel their strength is that secondary. The way to beat the Bills is honestly to just dink and dunk the whole way there. There's nothing underneath there stopping
and
you.
Collinsworth noticed that too and said they should have just been doing this the entire game and they might have won.
Yeah, take what they're willing to give you. And to be honest with you, the Bills have a prolific offense for a reason. Because they think that they can outgun you. They've got a very savvy quarterback. Reminds me a bit of Brett Favre in his early days. Unafraid to throw the ball deep, unafraid to throw the ball into a tight window. I think the Bills are a really good team, but I think you're right. They really haven't had that real test yet. But I don't know that you can throw the Kansas City Chiefs on that woodpile of sort of non-happening teams.
They ain't good.
Their
defense is bad. Their offense struggled mightily.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I think that Andy Reid, if anybody, can turn this team around, get things figured out. But right now, as it stands, that Chiefs team last night no bueno. So we still don't know who the hell the Bills are until they play somebody of substance. Who's their next game? Who do they play of substance in the near future that we can actually say, nope, that is a great team in the AFC, or it is not a great team? AFC or NFC?
Next game is the Titans. Next game is the Dolphins. It'll be a while.
They have an easy run. They're
Jags,
AFC or
Jets,
NFC?
Colts, Saints. I don't know.
Hold on, I'm looking. Can't find their logo on my. Well, we'll figure it out tomorrow. Football game up next. See you guys. Bye.
Jacobs and Haley, 6 to 10 weekday mornings.
On 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
The following is a presentation of Westwood One Sports.